USDA funding, which is drying up. Margaret Dickinson has managed the food pantry at Calvary Episcopal Church in Louisville, Kentucky for 43 years. She says this week was the first time they've run out of food with the need so great.
It's just ballooning like crazy.
Lynette Lau is president of the Association of Community Ministries in Louisville.
We feel like this is the tip of the iceberg.
Because SNAP benefits will be cut starting November 1st, potentially leaving millions more people in need of food. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Many federal employees aren't working during the shutdown, but some are, and without pay, including air traffic controllers. Their union president Nick Daniels today.
So air traffic controllers, we didn't start a shutdown. We don't end the shutdown. Our elected officials do. And our message is simple. End the shutdown today.
We've just learned the House will be out of session next week, although representatives could be called back with 48 hours notice. The Pentagon sending an aircraft carrier to the waters off South America. CBS's Charlie D'Agata says it's coming from the Mediterranean Sea.
We don't know how long it's going to take that carrier strike group to get there. There are 8-9 warships, including a attack submarine, F-35s in that region already, Puerto Rico. So we're talking about a serious military flex.
New York Attorney General Letitia James was defiant today after pleading not guilty to charges of mortgage fraud in federal court.
I've heard from just about every jurisdiction in this nation who have said stand up and be tall and never ever cow down or back down or break or bend.
James says the justice system is being used as a tool of revenge. Her trial is scheduled for January. We just learned the government of Ontario, Canada, says it's pulling the ad that said tariffs are harmful. The ad angered President Trump so much that he announced he was ending trade talks with Canada. The Justice Department is going to send federal election monitors to 2 Democratic-governed states that are holding off-year elections next month. Details from CBS's Peter King.
Justice officials say the observers will go to 1 county in New Jersey and 5 in southern and central California to, quote, ensure transparency, ballot security, and compliance with federal law. The blowback from California has been quick and sharp. Governor Gavin Newsom saying it's not a federal election. The Justice Department has no business there. Newsom calls it an intimidation tactic to suppress the vote.
Less than an hour before the close of the trading week, the Dow, S&P 500, NASDAQ all up about 1%, all in record territory. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Take the next step forward in your career with great benefits and an award-winning workplace. Apply at careers.progressive.com.
Find your flashlight, why there's a risk of power outages tonight. But first, KIRO News Radio traffic. Here's Nate Connors.
Hey, thanks, Heather. This report brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. A quick reminder to slow down out there. Give yourself some space. We've got wet road conditions across the map, standing water in some areas and making for some rough driving conditions. And it's created a number of collisions just in the past half hour. Some new ones. South Center, North 5 just past 178th. Collision blocks the left lane. You're backed up to 200th. Federal Way to Seattle is up to a half-hour drive. Over in Renton, southbound 167 at South 180th, the crash blocks 2 left lanes. That includes a toll lane. You're backed up to 405. Renton to Auburn, you've got a 10-minute delay. Down in Parkland, westbound 512 right at I-5, a collision blocks 2 right general purpose lanes. So that leaves the far right exit lane open and the far left lane open. You're about a mile or so back up there. Linwood to Seattle at 40 minutes. You got a solid backup that starts in Shoreline near 155th, and that rolls into downtown. Tacoma to Olympia is still a 1-hour commute. The Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest, the best place to watch all your favorite sports, featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, kiosks, and more. Be there at emeraldqueen.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Heather Bosch. Western Washington is seeing its first significant stretch of stormy weather this season with 3 waves of wet, windy weather through Monday. KIRO News Radio meteorologist Ted Beener.
The rain will come with our first system literally moving on shore, and it's going to be intensifying the rain throughout the day today and into this evening. Following system will spread more rain on shore on Saturday, and behind it will be much cooler air mass that's going to result in showers and that dropping snow level in the mountains.
There's a risk of power outages, so find your flashlight, and a risk of urban flooding. Clear the leaves off those storm drains. Alaska Airlines says a significant IT problem at its primary data center is what grounded planes for several hours yesterday. They're still trying to get flight schedules back on track. So far today, Alaska's canceled 93 flights out of SeaTac Airport. There have been 76 delays. Crews made quick work of the Bullfrog overpass on I-90 near Cle Elum. That's the pass that was damaged by a truck. The latest from KIRO News Radio's Chris Sullivan.
Contractors didn't need long in taking the overpass down. The bridge over the westbound lanes of I-90 is gone. All that's left is the concrete rebar and debris below. WashDOT says it will be next week before the westbound lanes will reopen, but that could change considering how fast the contractor demoed the bridge. The 64-year-old Canadian driver who hit the bridge appears to have had a miscommunication with his pilot car, hitting the overpass instead of getting off like he should have. He was fined $250.
Gig Harbor police say a group of teens caused chaos, throwing eggs at cars from a moving vehicle. A windshield was eventually shattered. Officers say they tracked the suspects to Olympic Drive, where the driver was involved in a road rage incident before blowing through a red light onto Route 16 and crashing moments later. No one was injured, but charges may follow. Accolades for a trio of Seattle Mariners.
The stretch of the pitch to Cal. Swing and a drive deep to right field. There it is, number 60.
Catcher Cal Raleigh, center fielder Julio Rodriguez, and second baseman Jorge Polanco have been named as finalists for the American League Silver Slugger Awards. Those are given annually to the best hitter in the league at each position as determined by managers and players. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Wind, rain, and highs today in the upper 50s. It's 58 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Hey there. Happy Friday, October 25th. Jake Skorheim here sitting alongside Spike O'Neill.
Hey, buddy.
Spike, welcome to the end of the week.
Yeah, it is.
We made it.
Long. Feels like a long week.
Feels like a long week.
Usually I love the fact that we have fun when we do this. We enjoy the time we spend together with the audience. This week seems to fly by every week.
It flies by, but this week was long because why Spike? Tell us.
The emotional roller coaster that we lived on this week.
That was it.
The highs, the lows.
That was it.
And then there was. We always have stories that are sometimes difficult to bring to you, and they can be taxing. They're cumulatively wear on you.
Sure. But we're a lighthearted show. We cover it all with a grain of salt.
And that's
Mariner
purposeful.
Stuff, though.
That's purposeful. But the Mariner stuff was
rough.
But you know what though? Wouldn't have it any other way. I mean,
it was great.
It was great. It was great to get
sucked, but it was
new
great.
heights. Yeah, the view from up here is great till you start to fall.
Absolutely, yes. All right, we got a lot of stuff to get to. Before we jump into first things first, because we got a lot of really great local stories. Actually, this first one's not great. Somebody's burning a lot of stuff. An arsonist, they think.
Back. I'm sorry. They're back.
They're back. We don't know if it's a guy or girl. This seems like a guy crime. It just seems stupid, and that seems like a guy would do it. I can't imagine a girl doing this, but I don't know. We'll get into
couple photos on mynorthwest.com.
Hold off on that.
Okay.
I want to tease ahead.
Okay. Fair enough.
We have a bunch of stuff today, interview-wise, that you're not going to want to miss. We were doing the story earlier in the week about these, like a food truck mafia ring or something.
That's what they called it. Wasn't us that called it that?
Was going around and setting up, they weren't even food trucks. It was like food backpacks. And they were setting up illegal food vendors around stadiums or, big events.
I've seen bigger carts walking down the aisles of an airplane.
Yeah.
Then these people are running a food business.
Yes.
Out of something that you can fold up and put in the backseat of your Mini Cooper. If they had Mini Coopers.
You could do it on one of those stupid city bikes. It was not food handling safe, not good for you, very dangerous.
Did you see a guy pull a hot dog out of a backpack, throw it on a grill?
A guy out of a backpack. Dude. I saw it. So anyway, we have a guy who did a little deep digging because he owns 2 food trucks. He wanted to encourage this, new community of people selling stuff on the street until he realized they're not legally able to do that, and it's not safe for people. So he's going to join us at 1 o'clock. He's going to be in studio. He's going to tell us about his investigation, what he discovered, and also how he, made the city aware of it. So they started cracking down on some of these, like 150 of them this year. It's crazy. So we'll get into that at 1 o'clock. At 1:30, John Curley is coming on with us. He had Katie Wilson on with him last night on the show. We're going to have some clips from that. She was asked about this news story from KUOW about how she still receives money from her parents to pay her bills, which she complains about childcare and all that stuff, even though her husband doesn't have a job. But anyway, she was on with him last night, and he has Mayor Harrell on with him today. So we're going to look with John Curley. We're going to look ahead to his Mayor Harrell interview tonight, and then get his take on who he thinks would best run the city, which is a big question that people have. If you are at all interested in Seattle or have to work in Seattle like I do, and Spike does, and
and spends so much of my free time in the city. The things I want to do take place in the city of Seattle. Ball games,
so
theaters,
who's going to run
movies, whatever.
Who's going to run the city?
Right.
We're going to talk with John Curley about that at 1:30, and then at 2, boy, we have a lot of great stuff. We told you a story. This is not a great story. This is a crazy story. But there was a guy last week who made news because he pulled over, like many of us would. He sees a family, a mom and a dad, 7 kids. It's a lot of kids walking along the side of the road, and he thinks to himself, by golly, I'm going to pull over and help this family out. I'm going to take them where they need to go. And this was in Sequim, and he wants to give them a ride. And you would think if somebody's traveling with, I think they had a 6-week-old or 6-month-old, very young.
to 9-year-old, the range of the 7 children, yeah.
So the guy pulls over, and he gets him in the car, drives down the road a little bit, a fight ensues. He gets stabbed in the neck, naturally, which is insane. We invited him to come on the show, but again, the aforementioned injury, it's not really super good time for him. He's fine. He survived it, but he got stabbed in the neck. But his daughter is going to come on with us and tell us all about it, and tell us what happened to her dad and what the heck happened. I mean, I feel like what's-his-face in Mighty Wind, What happened? How did he get stabbed in the neck?
I want to know more about her dad.
Yes,
of course. The kind of man this is,
Well, obviously you know what kind of man he is. You pulled over.
I want to know a little bit about him.
Let's find out about him. We'll find out a little bit about him. The story is what I'm interested in. How you end up stabbed in the neck.
I know the dirt bags. I mean, I know all I want to know about the story, to be honest with you.
Not me.
Well, okay, that's cool. You asked about the story?
I'm sure he's a nice guy. But
well, I mean,
I want to know why he got stabbed in the neck.
Fair enough.
That's why we're having him on.
Fair enough.
All right, so that'll be at 2 o'clock. And Spike can ask all about this guy's personal history. We can also talk about
what kind of hobbies he has. What's he doing driving DoorDash at 67?
What's your favorite book?
There's a story here.
What's his favorite book? Yeah, the story is he got stabbed in the neck. Obviously, that's what everybody cares about.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
He's just a guy, but he got stabbed in the neck. That's very interesting. All right, let's get into first things first. Can we talk about these fires and help solve this crime?
Please.
Seattle Fire wants the public's help. There's been a bunch of arson that has been happening. Listen to all these cases. Between October 17th and October 22nd, Seattle Fire reported there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 6?
6 different fires.
Yeah. 6 different fires, all in the same area, right?
Yeah, the Rainier Beach area.
So they're asking for help. The Arson Alarm Foundation is offering an award for its annual $10,000 award fund to anyone with information that leads to the arrest or conviction of those responsible for setting recent fires in the vicinity. So if you know who started these fires and it leads to an arrest, you can call 1-800-55-ARSON, 1-800-55-ARSON. If you need me to spell that, then disregard. You can choose to remain anonymous when you call this in.
Yeah.
And they just want to find this guy. And I was thinking, you and me, Spike, we're pretty good at solving crimes. So here's my question for you. We can bring this music down a tiny bit while we discuss.
Thank you, Nick.
How would you go about solving a crime like this? A lot of the evidence is going to burn up because of the fire.
Yeah, there's forensic, the geniuses who work forensic detective work for the fire department and the police department. They know what they're doing. Yeah. What we have is a network of people on the streets. We have eyeballs. We have an army of eyeballs.
On the street. And women. People. Dogs, cats.
So that's what we can become, is just a hub of information. A $10,000 reward. We want nothing in return except the warm feeling of knowing that we help the city.
Yeah, I don't want part of the reward. I want to help our listeners get this reward. We're going to help them get $10,000. So where would you start? Okay, we got 6 fires that we're talking about here. And is there a connection to the past fires? Because you remember there was a bunch of fires back in the summertime. Do you remember this?
July and August, yes.
Back in July and August. So where would you start if you were going to be a fire investigator? Like you're called into the scene, Spike O'Neill rolls up, Jake and Spike, we roll up on the scene, and we got trench coats on.
Kind of like fat draft, we would call it for me. Fat draft.
What's a fat draft?
I mean, backdraft. The fire investigators, remember?
Funny.
Fat draft.
That's funny. You're not fat.
I don't know if I could meet the physical requirements of being a firefighter.
Well, no, you're a fire investigator.
If I can go down the pole, I'm fine. Getting back up and forget a ladder.
What about
scare
husky
me.
draft?
Oh, I like that.
It's
I like
a friendlier term. Husky draft. And they're going to think dog.
Where would I start? Is I would start where they're starting. They're asking for public information because they got. I mentioned there's a My Northwest story about this with a couple of photos of what they think could be a suspect in these fires. I'd ask who knows this person. Now we say guy, but we don't know. These days you never know.
Is it safe to assume it's a guy? Does this seem like your instant instinct as a fire investigator or as a husky investigator?
With the actions themselves.
Does it seem like a girl thing? We have Laura here in the studio. Laura, do you think this seems like a male crime or a female crime?
I think it could be either. Truly. But
this is why she's not a husky investigator like you are, Spike.
Okay. Well, I mean, looking at the photo, this looks like a guy.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
If you had to listen,
it could be a woman.
It could be a woman.
She could be sitting across from you right now.
They're wearing.
What's that number again? I'm gonna make 10 grand.
1-800-55-ARSON. That's the number. ARSON.
Don't spell it for them, Spike. No, they need to do a little work.
No, even the spelling challenged should be able to help if they recognize. Go to My Northwest, look at this person.
Yeah, check them out.
Right. I would ask around if you know somebody who is, why did this person? If first off, I'm an investigator showing up, right? Is there a similarity between the targets? We know that they're geographically connected, 3 different little areas in the same general section of southern Seattle area. Yeah. But is there a similarity between who owns these properties? Is there any kind of commonality that maybe it's a targeted
Let me
type
read you some of
attack?
these. Yeah. For October 17th, 12:04 a.m. These are all late night stuff. Not all of them. Most of them are late night, or early morning. Fire in an unoccupied vehicle. The fire was determined to have been intentionally set. October 17th, 1:04 a.m. Porch fire at a residence. The fire was determined to have been intentionally set. October 17th, 4:38 a.m. Fire in a portable toilet at a construction site. The fire was determined to have been intentionally set. Now, it's possible that they were just in there going to the bathroom and they just wanted to clear the smell out and then it's just like lost control of it. October 18th, that's the only one that I would wipe off. I'd say that one is an anomaly.
Ironically enough, yeah.
October 18th.
Anomaly.
I'd wipe that one off. Good for you. Fire in a vacant section of a commercial building. This fire was determined to have been intentionally set. Here's what's interesting to me as I'm looking at these. This is a spattering, a very fast fire between October 17th and October 22nd.
Yeah,
it's 5 days.
Yeah.
It's a fire a day. You have a bunch of fires that are set between July and August, around that same area. So what happened? What happened between August and October? What's the difference here? And you know what I'm thinking? This person was locked up. I think this person was taken off of the streets and sent somewhere. So I would start with people who were I would look at all of the people who were recently released from short-term lockup, not long-term, short-term lockup in King County Jail, and I would look and see if any of those people matched the description of the picture that was taken.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. Where's this person been for that when they went quiet? They went dark.
Yes.
Right?
100%.
And I'm thinking, first off, did they travel? Did they go to Chelan? Because it's summer.
Are arsonists going to Italy?
I thought no. Right?
I don't know what
Exactly.
they're doing.
Exactly. I'm like, no, they're
Was
not
he
down.
camping?
Not down the Oregon coast.
Probably
No.
having a campfire if he was.
Ironically
Loving
enough.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Look for somebody. And again, the 888-55-ARSON.
1-800.
Oh, it's 800. It is 800.
1-800-55-ARSON.
Yeah, that number again.
1-800.
Call this show.
55-ARSON.
55-ARSON. I was got a train of thought. I lost my train of thought.
We were saying this person was possibly locked up.
Out of town. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. The police and local and firefighters are urging people to call if they see someone deliberately setting a fire.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do.
Do you have to tell people to call the police if they see someone deliberately setting a fire? Isn't it in your human DNA?
I would think so.
If you see someone deliberately setting a fire, don't you have to be told that maybe you should call the authorities?
If I'm in a campsite, I'm probably ignoring it because if it's in a fireplace or something. But if it's a porta potty,
a vacant building,
yes,
a residential place, somebody's front porch,
100%.
If I see somebody setting a fire, I don't have to be told to call the police.
You don't have to be told. No, absolutely. But if you do see somebody starting a fire and they match the description, again, that number is 1-800-55-ARSON. And but yeah, for the SPD and the fire department looking into this guy,
maybe there's somebody
check county lockup records.
or
That's
maybe,
where I would start.
Maybe there's somebody in the public knows someone in their community, their circle,
maybe
who was off the streets for 5 months.
Yeah.
Now they're back,
possibly
because 6 fires in 5 days.
It's a lot.
This person's serious about what they're doing. They got a serious
Where are we
problem.
buying matches? Find out where they're getting matches. Just go find out who's been buying a lot of matches lately, and boom, you got your guy. All right, so we move over to this other thing that's great.
Sure.
From one stupid crime to another. Stupid motorist law. Reagan Dunn has proposed, King County Council member has proposed a law called the Stupid Motorist Law. After 3 recent bridge strikes, these have been in the news lately. There's one on westbound I-90 that just happened. They had was it called the Bullfrog Bridge?
That's the road.
That's the road.
Yeah,
Bullfrog Road.
That crosses over 90.
So they had to. Somebody ran into that bridge and they went straight on through. They didn't just stop. They went through and huge damage to that section of the bridge, the underpass. They had to tear the whole thing down, which has now successfully been done. They were quick on it. Good job. Now they have to rebuild it. And so Reagan Dunn has proposed this thing. He sent a letter to WashDOT. King County Vice Chair Reagan Dunn suggested this is from Como that I saw this, the development of a stupid motorist law to hold drivers of extremely tall loads accountable for bridge strike damage. He says, I believe this problem is getting worse, not better. Dunn wrote of the heavy costs of these incidents, all the time it takes to repair them, public safety risks, all these different things. Do you think this is a good bill? I like it. It's a nicely named bill, too.
Do you like the name? Do you like the name?
Yeah, because these motorists are stupid.
Stupid motorist law?
Yeah, absolutely. They're running into
I was trying to
bridges.
come up with something better,
Dumb drivers?
What was it like,
Triple D?
destruction of overhead,
Oh, that's clever.
Something, I don't know.
Yeah. But that's like a hat on a hat, because then you have to understand what the acronym is.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
You just want to spell it out. You want to make it easy for people.
Stupid motorist law.
Yeah. And that's what they must be, because you're driving into a bridge and you're a professional driver who's driving into a bridge.
Yeah. Irresponsible is stupid. It's stupid.
No, it's
trust Reagan Dunn. He knows what he's doing. He's the King County Vice Chair. He knows what he's doing.
I always say, Spike, shame is such an effective
Really
mechanism.
is. Oh, and
You want to shame them.
And the goal of this new law is increased responsibility and accountability for those who do cause this damage,
Well,
right?
It's super expensive to replace these things.
Yeah.
It also costs people time sitting in traffic.
Time and trouble, you bet.
We can't get any of that time back. Just sitting in traffic. You can't pay people back for their time. So it would hold them more accountable. I don't know to what extent it would hold them more accountable. That would still remain to be seen. I'm sure
They're talking about increased fines. They're talking about,
Yeah. Do you think it'll help? Would a stupid motorist law help?
No, I don't.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I don't think these guys are making bad decisions. Weighing, well, the fine's not that bad. I'll just throw an extra rack on top of the truck here, and we'll just drive it along. But you got to lose licenses, don't you? Don't you got to lose the ability to earn a living at some point, or at least have it suspended? Take it away for a while.
It's tough to say. The guy who hit that bridge that had just forgotten to put his load down, but he was like a 60-something-year-old dude.
Right.
He'd done it 10,000 times, just forgets to put the load down.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin that guy's life. I don't want to make it so he can't earn a living. I feel bad about that. But obviously, companies need to carry insurance for these types of things to pay as much as they possibly can.
Yep.
Can they foot the cost of a full bridge? I don't know. They're expensive. They're $6-7 million.
I doubt there's any company out there that can afford to. Their
that's why
profit
they
margin
carry
is so.
insurance.
Yeah, exactly.
But it has been happening a lot. Do you think, is there a conspiracy behind it, possibly? Or am I just crazy?
How do I get a new bridge? I'll take out the old one, you say to yourself.
There's all these bridges. There's like
3.
There's like 80-something bridges in the state that are more than 76 years old.
That need some, yeah. And their infrastructure dragging their feet on infrastructure.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I'll get a new bridge. We dang the old one out.
Just have an old dude.
Yep.
Take the fall, smack into the bridge, stack that load a little too high.
Too high. Yeah. What do you take you mess with his tape measure?
Maybe.
Yep. Looks like 12 feet to me, Steve.
Looks
Get
good.
up there.
Wink at the guy. And he just goes.
Here's an extra rack of donuts.
Yeah.
Keep it on the down low.
And state gets a bunch of new bridges.
So who did
Ferguson stands in front of all these bridges. He is Johnny on the spot on these bridges.
He likes a photo op.
Hey Bono, right?
Yeah.
Who benefits? Bob Ferguson. Who benefits? Bob Ferguson. I'm not saying that he's the one doing it, but I'm saying he is ready to go, posing in front of these bridges.
I don't know. I think we all benefit.
That could just be good governance as well.
Could be. Well,
but that's
these
the thing
days,
about a conspiracy
from this
theory.
guy, good governance.
Who knows?
You think the least likely is what we're going to find out?
Who knows? I do know one thing. new bridges, old bridges, you're going to have less money in your pocket if Bob Ferguson's around. That's what I know for sure. All right, we got a lot more coming up. This is really interesting. The city of Everett. Question for the audience, 888-973-5476. Does a river have rights? A river, just like a human would have rights, just like a person might have rights.
Or a corporation.
Or a corporation. Good call.
Does a river have rights? Or a corporation, as Laura
Residents
said.
of Everett, they want to say yes. They said yes in a vote, public vote.
Jason Rantz will join us next to talk about it. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
Well, you're getting ready every morning. Make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales Event, now extended through October 26th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event, extended to October 26th. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we're honored to share that the Harnish Auto family has partnered with Mobile Memo Northwest to donate on your behalf. For every test drive at any of our 6 dealerships, including Subaru, Volkswagen, and Chevy Buick GMC of Puyallup, or Kia and Chevy of Everett. No purchase necessary, just hop in and take a spin. Together, we can make a huge difference in the fight against breast cancer. Harnish Auto Family, where people matter.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Looking for a high school that nurtures both the mind and spirit?
Archbishop Murphy High School is where academic excellence meets faith-based education. With a 100% graduation rate and a college prep program designed to challenge and inspire, our students are prepared for whatever the future holds. But it's more than just academics. Archbishop Murphy's robust athletics, arts, and co-curricular activities ensure that every student finds their passion and thrives. Archbishop Murphy High School believes in educating the whole person. That's why we offer a vibrant campus life where students grow not only academically, but also spiritually, socially, and physically. Don't just take our word for it. See it for yourself. Schedule a visit and discover how Archbishop Murphy High School can help your students succeed. Visit am-hs.org. IRG Physical and Hand Therapy proudly supports Archbishop Murphy High School, where your story begins. am-hs.org.
Hey there, Dawn Riding with Olympic Hot Tub. You know what's better than soaking every night in a saltwater hot spring spa? Knowing you got it for an incredible price during our great rebate event. Save up to $4,500 on the best hot tub you can own. Saltwater soaking, incredible savings, sleeping better, feeling better. What are you waiting for? Our great rebate event ends October 27th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub. Cancers impact so many, but there's hope because the UW Cancer Vaccine Institute is developing ways to treat and prevent the deadliest cancers. Learn more at uwcvi.org about patients who received treatment 20 years ago that are healthy today. You can help by donating to fight at your local Safeway.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Heather Bosch.
When someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports, it looks like they're doing the patriotic thing.
The Canadian province of Ontario just pulled that ad, which features President Reagan in 1987 criticizing tariffs.
But over the long run, such trade barriers hurt every American worker.
The ad angered President Trump, who canceled trade talks with Canada. No word on when those talks might resume. The U.S. is sending an aircraft carrier to waters off South America in a show of force against suspected drug traffickers. CBS's Charlie D'Agata.
Putting a carrier into that neighborhood against the stated mission, which is drug interdiction, is absolutely unheard of.
This comes after the U.S. military hit a 10th boat of alleged drug smugglers. At least 43 people have died since the strikes began in September. Washington Congressman Adam Smith, the top Democrat on the Armed Services Committee, strongly objects to the action.
It is the President of the United States deciding to be judge, jury, and executioner when there is not an imminent military threat to the U.S. This is an incredible expansion of presidential power.
President Trump has designated drug cartels terrorist groups that Americans must be protected from. The federal government shutdown could threaten the safety of Americans, according to the head of the Air Traffic Controllers Union. Nick Daniels says controllers are working 6 days a week without pay.
Every day that this shutdown drags on with no clear end sight, this affects their focus.
SNAP food benefits are set to expire unless the government reopens. Mike Butler runs a food bank.
As families are stocking up, they're trying to decide, am I going to pay my rent next month, or am I going to buy food? It's a dilemma. It's anxiousness, depression, all kinds of stress right now.
Today, we got our first major report on the U.S. economy since the start of the government shutdown. Inflation increased 3% over 12 months, but experts thought it would be higher. CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
Yes, we are seeing some specific areas that are seeing impact from tariffs, but it's not that runaway inflation that a lot of economists feared.
Analysts say this may prompt the Fed to lower interest rates, which Wall Street loves. The Dow is up 527 points, NASDAQ ahead 310. KIRO News Radio traffic. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Heather. This report brought to us by Closets by Design. Linwood to Seattle, a 40-minute trip this afternoon. That's solid from 130th and Northgate into downtown. Linwood to Bellevue, a half hour, but it is slow from Alderwood all the way into Totem Lake. Down in South Center, North 5, just past 178. The collision now blocks 3 left lanes. Our last chat, it was just blocking your left lane. So you're back to bumper to State Route 516. Federal Way to Seattle is up to 45 minutes. Over in Renton, southbound 167 at South 180th. The crash still blocks 2 left lanes. We have tows on scene, so this one should be cleared soon. But you're backed up to 405. Renton to Auburn's at 25 minutes. Bellevue to South Center, a half-hour drive. Tacoma to Olympia at 55 minutes. Custom storage solutions for closets, garages, home offices, and more. Go to closetsbydesign.com to see current specials or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to learn more. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Wind, rain, and highs in the upper 50s today. It's 58 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. Boy, we are just full of great guests today. And this next guest is no different. Jason Rance from Seattle Red 770 AM joins us now. Jason, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Jason, it's great to have you.
Agreed.
Yes, I'm glad you agree with that assessment about yourself. There's two stories over on Seattle Red that people should check out. They're both very good. They're both confusing to me. Your microphone is dropping. Are you okay there? You got that figured out?
I'm not the problem.
Okay. No, the microphone seems to be the problem. He's all right. He'll work it out. He's a professional. On SeattleRed.com, people can read these two stories. One of them is about King County Jail. One of them is about a river in Snohomish that now has rights.
Yeah.
Let's start with the King County Jail, and then let's work our way over to the Snohomish River rights. What's going on in King County Jail?
So a couple weeks ago, I was on here talking about our exclusive, which is that there was a whistleblower complaint essentially alleging that the King County Jail had illegally hired a bunch of corrections officers due to the illegality is that they aren't, based on their immigration status, they aren't legally allowed to work as a corrections officer in Washington State.
Sure.
And the complaint alleged, or the whistleblower said, there could be upwards of like 100, 130 individuals who are illegally employed. So
and the initial reporting was like, you did find 3 initially, right?
We found 4 initially for sure, because the commission at the state level that does the hiring of this or the training for this, they recognized that these were not people who could legally hire, so they didn't certify.
Gotcha.
But for the folks who are already certified, the King County Jail System looked at their employees. They found, and again exclusively reported this, 38 were found to have been not just hired but certified illegally. And King County Jail says, we're going to keep them anyway. They are acknowledging that they are breaking state law.
So what's their excuse for that? How are they
Their
justifying?
argument is essentially, we need the staff members, so we're going to continue to keep them. And they're not incorrect in that. They had a staffing crisis. They still kind of do. It's not as bad, obviously.
Well, they filled a lot of the positions.
Yes, except they filled them illegally. And that's an important part of this.
Is there I mean, I understand that they have a need for more staffing. Yeah. And all of these people who didn't have legal resident status, I guess, is the correct way to frame this?
It's not. Some people have said that they're illegal immigrants, which is not true.
Not the case, no.
At least according to King County Jail, they say that they have work visas. They're eligible to work. However, in Washington State and federally, when we're talking about law enforcement positions, you can't just have a work visa and get these jobs.
But these people have also all cleared background checks. They've all cleared adequate training. They're
the
fit
adequate
for
training,
the jobs. Yeah,
not on the background check.
No.
That's obviously not true in the context of not. I know what you're saying.
I'm saying they're not criminally. They don't have criminal backgrounds. They cleared that level of background checks.
Here's the thing.
Their status.
I'm going to assume that is correct.
Okay,
However, I do have a little bit of a question, because that they did not realize that they did not have the immigration status in order to work here certainly suggests that the background check was not complete, or at least they weren't fully vetted. I have no reason to believe that any of these people are criminals. Like,
right.
I have no reason to believe that, but I do have a little bit of a question.
I ask for this reason. If I remember, it was a couple weeks ago, the story came across the desks. There was a misunderstanding or a misinterpretation by the people who's doing the hiring as to what
they said.
That's what they said. Okay.
Because under the law, you have to have, if you want to work in corrections, for example, you could be under the deferred action, the Dreamer program, for example. If you're a Dreamer and you applied for that, you would be eligible.
Right.
So they're essentially saying that they misinterpreted and they thought someone with a work visa like this would be eligible. But again, they acknowledge that they are wrong.
That they were wrong. Yeah. Is there
and
a
they're keeping them there?
Is there a mechanism for making them legal?
Right.
I mean, we're talking about what the state requires, what a federal law requiring.
Both.
Yeah. Is there a way, since they are vetted, trained, and there's an element of what qualifies? Is there a way to make this work?
No,
because
not legally.
We've got dozens of people filling these jobs. We've got hundreds of openings.
Nothing legally that you can do right now. Now, in theory, you can make it good with the state law, by changing the law, but it still would not be kosher federally.
Okay.
So there is nothing you can do unless they become, citizens and then otherwise would be eligible.
That's
but again,
a long process. Yeah.
Not only is that a long process, you can't. I'm pretty sure you can't just say, "Well, we hired you illegally, but now it's cool." So now, so I don't think it works that way, and it shouldn't work that way.
No, agreed. But I guess my main concern is we're squabbling. I don't mean need to belittle the argument. It's a valid argument, and you're right to point it out. But what we need are trained professional corrections officers. If we change the state law to make that people who are looking for the work and taking the jobs and qualified for the jobs. Isn't that a good solution to this?
It wouldn't change the federal issue, is the point. And again, you can argue or justify in many different ways, and I think some of the arguments are technically valid, others I don't. But at the end of the day, let's just point out the irony. You've got people in jail for breaking the law. The King County Jail is saying they are actively breaking the law. That just is wrong.
A little conflict of interest.
And spare me from the county level of we're going after the lawlessness of Donald Trump. Oh, but we're okay with this lawlessness. Be consistent. Be consistent.
Okay.
Are they breaking the law?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go.
Doesn't equate to the going after.
So sometimes it's okay to break the law, but other times it's not in your view.
I'd say that. Don't try it.
Exactly. You and I agree on this. You just don't want to acknowledge
I'm not equating it. I'm drawing a false equivalency with the president.
Sometimes breaking the law is okay, I guess. Especially when it's a government agency that's involved with the law.
So you're with the Trump administration then. Good for you. Nice to hear that.
Are you two done?
Never. We could do this. We
literally
go out and get some
day.
lunch. We could do this all day. I love when this guy comes in.
We have now run out of time because you two have just been bickering the whole time. We have run out of time, but this other story in Snohomish is a very confusing story, and it's a really good one.
Let's make a movie out of this.
Are you available for one more segment, Jason? Is that going to be a problem for you? I'm putting you on the spot.
I promise to not sidetrack you with liberal lunacy this time.
Here's what we're going to do.
That's a lie.
Here's what we're going to do. When we come back, there is a river runs through it, just as Spike mentioned, in Snohomish. And in Snohomish, there are watershed rights as it pertains to this river. And there's now a bunch of builders who are saying, well, wait a minute, is this going to discourage us from being able to build near the river in Snohomish or Everett because of these rights that have now been granted to the river, much like you might grant rights to a person? Who's allowed to sue on behalf of the river?
Yeah.
That's a really interesting question, and one that's going to cause a lot of headaches in Everett if you have any interest in building in Everett. So we're going to talk about this when we get back. So you can text us right now, 888-973-5476. Let us know your thoughts on this, and Jason Rantz will stick around with us for one more segment. We will be right back.
Seahawks. Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Number 54, Bobby Wagner, linebacker, one of the finest of his generation. He set just about every tackling record that can be set. He was the heart and soul of one of the best defenses to ever play in the National Football League.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Help DEA keep our communities safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, October 25th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
Dr. Mark Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures, including mine, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. And we've interviewed over 100 of Dr. Wagner's patients, and we hear the same things. It changed my life. I'm back to doing the activities I love without pain. It really works. It's remarkable.
We love helping people get back to living life to the fullest and doing the things they enjoy most.
They also must really enjoy not having the pain and recovery time with surgery.
Stem cell therapy is a 60-minute non-surgical, minimally invasive procedure to eliminate pain, regenerate cartilage, treat tendon and ligament tears, osteoarthritis, and chronic tendonitis.
And you only use the patient's own stem cells.
That's right, their body's own stem cells.
So whether it's a hip like me, an elbow, shoulder, or knee.
Don't forget ankles, wrists, and thumbs.
Yep, those patients too. Before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD first. Learn more at drmarkwagnermd.com.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, "Buy low, sell high." There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales Event, now extended through October 26th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event, extended to October 26th. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Your time is money. So why are you wasting it stuck in I-5 gridlock, TSA slowdowns, and SeaTac crowds? Isn't it time to travel smarter? Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Park for free next to our terminals. Check in 20 minutes before your departure. Get there faster without the hassles. Seaport Airlines. It's about time. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
Help keep our community safe and healthy during National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, October 25th. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent drug misuse before it starts.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get zero down, zero payments, and zero interest for up to 24 months, or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Welcome back to the show. All right, you guys ever get up to Everett Way and you're interested in rivers and you're interested in building? This is a story for you. Jason, tell us what's going on in Everett where rivers have rights.
Yes, at least the river shed, the Snohomish River watershed. So back in this last election last year, November, there was an initiative, 2403, that was passed that essentially gave the watershed rights to regenerate, to exist, and to flourish. And what it essentially meant was that if, for example, a developer or anyone was doing, quote unquote, damage to the river, at least in the city of Everett, you can sue on behalf of the river to stop the so-called damage.
Well, that'll make it easier to build things in Everett.
There were some obvious problems with this, and so immediately almost builders and developers sued. There's a hearing today that will determine whether or not this continues. Unless it gets the craziest of crazy judges, it will be laughed out of court for some very obvious reasons. Because, well, for starters, a river doesn't have legal standing and can't just be given legal standing, even if someone is speaking on its behalf. And a perfect example is, let's say, Spike, you're in there and you're saying, I don't want this development here because it harms the river. The river doesn't want it. Okay, well, then I'm going to countersue and say, no, the river told me it totally wants it. I don't know why would we believe you over me? We're both taking this position.
As it currently stands, Spike could sue on behalf of the river,
assuming this
if he were a resident of Everett.
Well, here's the reason for the initiative.
Assuming the initiative stays.
Here's the reason for the initiative, and they're suing in court today the people who were opposing this. It was voted on last November, as you mentioned.
They're challenging this.
They're challenging this because they say that cities don't have the right to create laws that are in conflict with state laws.
Yeah, it's part of the preemption law.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
So
it's not that it's stupid, it's that it's illegal.
Well, no, it's also stupid.
Well, but
it's
that's
also
not why they're suing, just to be clear, right? They're suing because the city doesn't have the right.
Part of the legal argument is also that this is a part of the actual lawsuit. So it's the preemption law, which basically says you cannot create a law that preempts something that the state is already doing. We have this around gun rights, for example, in Washington State. You can't just come up with your own gun restrictions that the state says, no, you can't. We have uniform ones across the state because if you're in Everett, how are you to know what the law is there? And then all of a sudden you go into Lake Forest Park or something and they're going to have different rules.
That's just a common sense approach. And from what I understand, I did some reading on this from a couple different sources after thanks very much for coming on with this story.
Because it's your exclusive story.
The idea behind the initiative
Jason's
is
one of the people who cover the story.
Say I'm a resident of Everett, and I feel that a developer is polluting the river beyond what is already in place through regulatory guidelines and environmental protection laws.
You might just not like that they're near the river, and it spoils the view that you walk by the river.
Yeah,
right?
and as a resident of Everett, if I wanted to sue on behalf of the river, I'd have to prove damages to me as the litigant.
And that's the legal standing argument, which is why they're making that point. But again, so let's live in the world in which the developer is just wantonly spewing garbage and there are already laws that are in place that would be able to be implemented to stop that kind of behavior.
So this would open up the possibility. So are they seeing people actually suing developers, or is that
no? Because this is we'll decide not necessarily today, but today's ruling or what happens after today's hearing will determine.
This seems like a bad idea.
It is. It's part of it's something called the Rights of Nature movement that has been in place in New Zealand, Ecuador, and some other countries.
Some states in America have it though too, don't they? I think.
I don't know of any that are actually implemented. There's been
the movement is taking
yes, the movement is trying to come here, but again, we have a much different legal system than some other places, and this is just clearly not going to fly. Now, if you own the property, or the river or whatever, okay, that's a little bit different. But this is just some random person can say, "I speak on behalf of the river."
You don't. The Lorax. I speak for the trees.
And that didn't end well.
I have seen. You're right. I have seen along in Everett. I drive that road every single day along I-5 there. There's all sorts of development going in there. That used to be a very unappealing area, and now they're building. Have you been up there recently, Spike?
Along the trestle, you mean across the
Well, not along the trestle,
basin?
but if you're driving along I-5 and you look to your right between the Snohomish River and I-5. They're building a bunch of nice stuff. Like if you're ever heading up to Tulalip or something, they're building a bunch of developments that are really, really nice.
Well, yeah.
Do you have a problem with those?
No. We got to live someplace.
Yeah.
You're expanding. You said they're nice places, but
we're constantly talking
impact
about how
is
difficult it is to find housing in these cities. And this law, it seems, is just going to be a really bad thing for developers in the future if they lose the ability to build in those places.
Well, and yes, but I mean, keep in mind, let's live in the crazy town and assume this is legitimate. Okay, well, it's not going to stop at a watershed. So now a patch of grass, I'm going to sue on behalf of the patch of grass because it doesn't want to be
a tree that somebody
destroyed
wants.
because of a duplex going up, or a bunch of weeds somewhere. Like, they have feelings too. So this is not going to go anywhere. But it is an interesting issue. I found it really interesting. And if you're looking for really in-depth explanation, SeattleRed.com.
SeattleRed.com. Check it out there. Jason Reyes, thanks very much for coming in, making the time.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend. All right, we got a lot more coming up next. We're very fortunate. We're going to talk to a food truck owner. He owns a couple of these, actually. And he did a deep dive into all of these street vendors, these illegal street vendors that he was seeing. You won't believe some of these stories. It's crazy. And thankfully, finally, the city is starting to track these folks down and actually take them away because it's dangerous. Don't eat this food. That'll be next. Stick around. Be right back.
The voice of the Mariners for 40 years.
There it is, number 60, the modern-day Bambino.
The Rick Riz Show on Seattle's Morning News.
Rick. We have finally reached the end of the baseball season.
Oh, Amanda.
Have you recovered yet?
Oh, what a year. You know, it was the best year on the field in the history of the franchise. One that I'll never forget, and I don't think the fans will ever forget either.
Get the full conversation on the KIRO Newsradio app and at mynorthwest.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
Hey, Brock Ewart here. It's such a joy for me to be joined by Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, I've heard so much about traveling physical therapists. What's that mean to you and IRG?
That's a great question, Brock. Traveling physical therapy right now, I think, is a fad, and a lot of young therapists are doing it, but they're missing opportunities that we provide here at IRG. And those things we provide at IRG are really important, and that's being part of a team and treating patients, building relationships, engaging with our community. That is so important. The other thing is they're not getting paid time off. A crew are paid time off, and they do not get continuing education, professional growth, and that is so important as a young therapist to have access to professional growth. The other thing is we have an enhanced compensation program here at IRG that our physical therapists, our occupational therapists can increase their earnings by engagement, outcomes, and intervention. That's what we're all about. We're about building a great culture for young therapists and all clinicians to work here.
Openings across the whole company. Head over to irgpt.com/careers, irgpt.com/careers.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it hard to fight flu, pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Christopher Cruz in Washington. The shutdown is making the nation's skies less safe. That's the assessment of Air Traffic Controllers Union President Nick Daniels.
Every day that this shutdown drags on with no clear end sight, this affects their focus.
Without a paycheck, some federal employees, like the air traffic controllers, are having trouble putting food on the table. Peyton McCune owns Lilulo's Pizzeria near Pittsburgh. She's giving meals to anyone who asks.
If you need the help and you have pride, please put it aside, because you can literally just come in and quietly say it to one of us, and we'll act like you're just coming in and picking up food and like a normal order.
Members of the California National Guard arrived in Los Angeles earlier this week to help food banks get food to where it needs to go. For CBS Sunday Morning, Governor Gavin Newsom was asked what he would do if President Trump changes his mind and sends National Guardsmen into San Francisco.
We already had 43 lawsuits. It's only been 40 weeks of this presidency. That would have been 44. Second he does it, we'll be in court.
Now to the Pentagon decision that's raising eyebrows. An aircraft carrier has been ordered to sail from the Mediterranean Sea to the Caribbean. CBS News Pentagon reporter Charlie D'Agata.
Putting a carrier into that neighborhood, that area of responsibility against the stated mission, which is drug interdiction, is absolutely unheard of, aside from unprecedented. I can't remember the last time a carrier was in that region for any good reason other than transporting in or out of it.
Ontario, Canada is pulling the television ad that prompted President Trump to announce he was ending, quote, all trade negotiations with our northern neighbor.
The ad used the words of former President Reagan to criticize U.S. trade tariffs.
When someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford, whose province sponsored the ad, said the intention was to initiate a conversation about the impact of American tariffs on workers and businesses. He added, quote, we've achieved our goal, having reached U.S. audiences at the highest level. A White House spokesman had called the ad misleading and, quote, the latest example of how Canadian officials would rather play games than engage with the administration. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Administration officials are again telling Treasury employees not to take pictures of the East Wing demolition site. Here's CBS's Jennifer Jacobs.
CBS News broke the news this morning that Trump officials are again urging Treasury staff to not take photos of the demolition site. Now, the Treasury Department sits right next to the White House. It overlooks the East Wing, what formerly was the East Wing. And there are security concerns.
At the close of the trading week, the Dow closed at a record high. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Stormy weather moves into western Washington. The story coming up. But first, KIRO News Radio traffic. Here's Nate Connors.
Hey, thanks, Heather. This report brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. Yeah, wet road conditions all over the place, and it's really making an impact on our commute. Linwood to Seattle, 40 minutes solid from 130th and Northgate all the way down to I-90 already. Linwood to Bellevue, plan on a half hour, but you've got scattered backups from Alderwood into Kirkland. Bellevue to South Center, if you're continuing, is another half hour. You're pretty solid at 520. Down into South South Center, your only break is through the Renton S-curves. In South Center, North 5 just past South 178, this long-term collision now blocks 2 left lanes. We had 3 lanes blocked for a while. We've got tows on scene, so this one should be gone soon. Meanwhile, you're bumper-to-bumper starting at 516, Federway to Seattle up to a 55-minute drive. North 405, you're bumper-to-bumper through the Renton S-curves, where we have a collision at State Route 900. It's on your right shoulder. And Tacoma to Olympia still at 55 minutes. You've got a 4-mile, really hefty backup through JBLM. The Emerald Queen Casino is the entertainment capital of the Northwest, the best place to watch all your favorite sports, featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, kiosks, and more. Be there at emeraldqueen.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Heather Bosch. Expect wet, windy weather through Monday as Western Washington sees its first significant stretch of stormy weather this season. Meteorologist Ted Boehner says we could see wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour in the greater Seattle area, higher north of Everett and on the coast.
All of that is going to start to pull down a lot of the leaves that are ready to come down. And there's the possibility of a few isolated power outages.
There's also a risk of urban flooding, so clean out storm drains and watch out for water over the roadways. Alaska Airlines is working to get flight schedules back on track after a significant IT problem at its primary data center grounded flights for hours. KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman has more from SeaTac Airport.
We caught up with a few passengers earlier who came early for their flights only to find out, well, they're not going anywhere.
Very frustrating. I mean, I promised him I'd be there a couple months ago, and here I am.
He told me he was trying to get to California for his dad's 75th birthday. So you can imagine that's a big deal to him and his family. A spokesperson with SCA says this outage right now is not impacting other airport operations, just Alaska flights, which is roughly half of the airport's traffic.
93 Alaska flights have been canceled so far today. 88 are delayed. The I-90 overpass that was struck by a truck near Cle Elum this week is gone. Demolition crews took it out overnight. WashDOT's Megan Lott explaining to KIRO 7 TV.
There's no way to repair it and to reopen it safely.
Traffic still being detoured. The driver that caused the damage was cited and fined about $250. This is the third time a truck has damaged a major bridge in our state since August. Now, King County Councilmember Reagan Dunn is proposing a stupid motorist law. It would include stiffer penalties. Cal Raleigh is named the MLB Player of the Year by Sporting News. The award is voted on by more than 300 fellow players. Mariners president of baseball operations, Jerry DiPoto.
It was a phenomenal season. If it wasn't the best season a catcher's ever had, it's certainly one of the best two.
Raleigh becomes just the second catcher to win the award since it was first presented in 1936. Johnny Bench won in 1970. Raleigh is also a frontrunner for the MVP award. It'll be announced next month. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Again, wind and rain today with highs in the upper 50s. It's 58 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. Tons of great stuff coming up. John Curley's joining us next at 1:30. We're going to talk about Seattle mayoral race. So much more, too. 2 o'clock, we're going to talk to the daughter of that guy who got stabbed, who was just offering a family a ride. Good Samaritan, yeah. Sweet guy.
Really cost him his life.
Crazy situation. So tune in for that as well at 2 o'clock. We're very excited right now to talk with a couple of guys who are in studio. If you guys have been down to any sporting event in the last many months, many people have with the Mariners' incredible run, you may have noticed there are a lot of food options, but not all of those food options are actually good for you. And so I was reading this Como story the other day, and there was a couple of names highlighted in it, and we asked them into the studio. So we're going to welcome right now Misa Avila, who owns QT Food Trucks. Is that right?
Yep, that is correct.
Welcome to the show. And then also Sergio Garcia, who joins us, and he is with the Pacific Northwest Food Truck and Restaurant Association. You guys both represent that association, is that right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And your organization represents over 200 restaurants and food trucks in the Northwest?
Yep, just a bunch of friends that own restaurants, because the food truck community and restaurant community is very tight, so we all know each other. So we all talk to each other about the problems that are going on, and we decided, hey, if there's so many of us, why don't we start an association to take care of the problem?
Yeah. Okay. So I want to start back at the beginning. You noticed, Misa, that there were a bunch of new vendors who were selling food, particularly around like the stadium areas. And you were initially, when you first heard that when you first saw them around, you were like, hey, you know what? We want to support the community, just like you said, just like your association. There's already hundreds of you. What's a few more? But you started noticing something off about some of these vendors. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so once you can try their food once early in the week, and their food's going to be decent. But once you get to the later in the week, the food's going to make you sick, because there's no refrigeration, there's no hand washing sink, there's no food handling safety.
So there's no license on a lot of these vendors. That's the thing. And you guys go through a lot to get your license to become a business in this community, because people trust you. They come and they eat with you. And to get their trust, you go through the processes and the expenses of the requirements to have a legal and safe business. It's not cheap. So these people come in and they shortcut the entire mechanism. Not only are they taking food off your table and out of your family, you're running a business. It's a thin margin business, but they're putting the public health at risk.
Can you tell me a little bit about, so when I was down there, the thing that I noticed, my son and I went to a Mariners game, a month ago or something. And we were walking around there, and right outside the stadium, right near the, isn't there a statue of Edgar right outside the stadium?
Edgar's out front, yeah.
Right outside that stadium, there's a little food truck, and I'm holding a leaflet that you guys handed me on your way in. It's an attention. This is a good thing for people to have. It shows you a bunch of pictures of these places that you want to avoid. If they look like this, don't eat there because it's not safe for you. But it was one of these little carts right here, and there was a guy who was heating up hot dogs. He wasn't really cooking them. It looked more like he was heating them up. They looked pre-cooked. He's pulling them out of what looked like a backpack to me, and he's just throwing them on the grill. There's some onions, there.
They're sauteing.
There was a line of people waiting to get these hot dogs, and I'm sitting there, and my son and I are looking at it like, this does not seem safe for human consumption. So you noticed the same thing. How is it that they were able to be down there and set up? They're everywhere, without the city stepping in and saying, hey, you know what, this isn't safe for people. How do you think they were able to spread like that?
Basically, they just do whatever they want. They figure it's a lawless town, I guess, because nobody's enforcing anything. The health department usually works after 5 o'clock, and that's when they start setting up. So
the health department shuts down at 5, and they're like, okay, once they're off the clock, we're on the clock.
Yep. Once the health department's off the clock, they're working, and the cops won't do anything because nobody's calling it in. Nobody's saying, hey, there's an illegal vendor here. They're probably going to get a bunch of people sick, and that's a problem for everybody.
There's a lot of vendors outside the stadiums, and they've been there forever. Anybody who's ever gone to a ball game at any of the parks down there has seen these, but they're there all the time. They're there every week. These are the licensed vendors who go through and do things the proper way. And it's not just the ballpark, I understand there's a zillion people coming in. You're in a hurry. There's somebody standing right next to you while you're waiting in line. Yeah, that's why I think people turn to these instant
and it's
vendors.
Probably a little bit cheaper because
they ain't got any overhead.
Cost,
I see these guys all over town. It's not just at the ballparks. I live up in the north end of town, just outside Seattle city limits. As I can move up and down Aurora Avenue, I see not just a guy and some of these guys have a cart it's what the guy uses at Jiffy Lube to change my oil. That's how big the cart is, and he's got a full working kitchen in this thing. Mm-hmm. But I see these pop-up tents with full-on. They've got there's a picture of it on your flyer here. It's like one of those things you see where you're getting a KIRO or whatever, the rotisserie with the flames on it.
Shaving it off.
How do you set that up without licensing, without any kind of permits?
There is no license to have your food out in the open. There is absolutely no license. So either the health department's got to step up and actually offer a license. That's part of our organizations that will help you get a license if you want to do it the right way.
That's good.
But if you don't, then you're just going to start running around from office.
That's the place I drive by, and there's people up and down the sidewalks waiting to get to these people.
Sergio, can you tell me a little bit? You're holding up a picture for us. The audience can't see this right now, but it's a picture of what looks like
This is the house inside the Renton area.
Okay.
This is the kitchen. This illegal kitchen. So
well, it's not even a kitchen.
It's not a kitchen.
It's literally somebody's garage where they have pallets of meat sitting on the floor, just waiting for it to be used, and there'll be 20, 30 vans where they'll literally pull up one of those carts out, set up their spit with the meat, and go out and serve.
Can you tell me, is this a bunch of like people who have just recognized that the city doesn't seem to be knocking, like
doing their job
on
looking
this,
out
and,
for
like,
us,
arresting anybody on this, or does this feel more like it's an actual organization?
This is an actual organization. They have 60 vans. They have 4 different houses where they just store random products on the floor, and he'll show you pictures. There's blood. You saw the article that the Pierce County shut down one of the houses.
Yeah,
that's one of the small houses. They have 6 or 7 houses where they operate like that. And the lady is based out of California. That all the money goes back to California. None of it goes back into our economy.
This is somebody out of state who's doing this. So if she's doing it in Seattle, she's probably doing this in other places.
Oh, yeah,
too.
she's doing it in Vegas, Arizona, everywhere. And if you look at the vans, all the vans, California plates, all the Zell, because they don't take cards, all the Zell numbers, California numbers, vans, California plates. They just come in, do their business, and leave. And
let me ask you about this. How did you even look into this to start with?
So when I first started, I saw the taco pop up, and I was like, oh yeah, food o'clock, 2 a.m. Yes, that's my thing, I'm gonna go get that.
You're
and
not
then
alone.
I tried it at on a Tuesday, and I was like, oh man, this is pretty decent. I could eat this. Then I took some friends, and we tried it on a Friday night. Oh, no. And then Saturday morning, I'm sitting there, and my stomach is just hurting, and I'm like, oh man,
these are the same tacos.
I was like, that can't be the same thing. I had them, so we started. Sergio reached out. He's like, hey man, you shouldn't be eating there. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, their meat is hanging out on somebody's garage floor for days on end until they get to the point where they use it.
So you guys figured this out, that there was a centrally located. It's an organized crime.
Oh yeah, it's an organized crime.
How have you made authorities aware of this?
We've met with city council members. We've met with police chiefs. We had a meeting with the mayor, but he was doing his mayoral election stuff, so we didn't really get to chat. But we've met with representatives from all the cities around, and they'll tell us. We know it's a problem, but we don't know who can take care of it. And I'm like, how do you not? You're the government.
Get in the truck. I'll take you to.
I'll take you to them. If you need I'll rent a big dumpster and you can start picking them up.
What does it make you guys feel? You represent the Pacific Northwest Food Truck and Restaurant Association, 200 restaurants and food trucks. You guys are doing it the right way. Like Spike mentioned at the beginning, there's a lot of regulation that goes into the businesses that you guys run. It's very expensive. You're putting your heart and soul into it. You're taking a huge financial risk to do this. You guys are,
It's your livelihood. It's your
livelihood. And then you see people who are coming in out of state who are just skirting all of the laws. They don't seem to be really. I mean, I saw in the story they shut down 11 one day or something like that. That's a drop in the bucket because those people can just relocate the next day. How does that make you guys feel as people who are doing it the right way if the city's not defending you?
Well, it's very frustrating. I mean, we're doing everything the right way, and we started this organization to help people do things the right way. Me, Sergio, we've helped dozens of food trucks open up, navigate the permitting system, because we've done it over and over.
Yeah.
So it's something that we know how to do. And you ask these people, hey, you guys want to get a permit? They're like, no, we're all right. I've asked them, I was like, hey, man, do you ever eat your own food? Like, no.
Oh, why wouldn't they eat their own food? What was the answer?
Why would they want to get themselves sick?
They know it hadn't been refrigerated since Tuesday.
Is it? No, I wouldn't touch that. You had a funny comment. I think it was in the Como piece, but you're like, I wouldn't feed that food to my worst enemy.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to make you sick, and if your immune system's compromised, that's attempted murder. I mean, it's bad.
So, have you guys done any research? I'm really fascinated into the organized crime aspect of this. We were talking just a little bit ago about and then yesterday, the big national story is that
the basketball,
the mafia, NBA stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of a similar thing where you have what seems like an organized crime that's happening from out of state. It's coming in here. It's affecting all of your businesses. It's affecting a lot of stomachs around the state as well. So, what is the state doing to go after? If you guys know who this lady is, have you given her name over to the state?
We've provided to our council members. We've provided to police chiefs. We've provided to everybody.
What's the response? Did you talk to Sean Barnes with SPD?
We haven't talked to SPD yet. We've talked to Buren. I've talked to Redmond.
He's coming in here in 2 days.
If you want to bring me back, I will tell them how they're operating.
Because
Mayor Harrell's coming in today at 4.
Yeah,
Sean Barnes is coming in 2 days. We'll make them aware of all these things.
Yeah, we have all the addresses to the houses. They're violent people. They'll threaten you.
That's what I was about. I was wanting to get into because we're talking about an organized crime syndicate that is it's a food syndicate. being run by an out-of-state ringleader. I don't know any of the details, but from what you've told us, and I'm giving no reason to lie, there's got to be some danger involved because I don't know much about gangsters, but they fight back. And they're
Sergio,
working outside.
what's up with your hand?
So
I put the mic up to you a little bit there.
Okay, so I tried to get that more information, more proof, and I know the address for the houses, the people these for the hot dogs, fruits, and everything. So I go get more information because all the time I talk to the CDA, way more. You need
more evidence.
Gloves,
Yeah.
Well, I need more evidence. Okay, I know private investigation, but okay, this affect my business too. So okay, I go to the house, take the picture, and went to the owner for the illegal vendors, close to his truck, hit my hand and everything, have it 3 tissues.
Yeah, so he was standing on the sidewalk taking pictures because it's open and you can see all the vans and you can see everything from the sidewalk.
Yeah, I just saw Sergio just showed me some of the pictures. It's everywhere.
Yeah, so he was taking pictures, and as he's leaving, he's 2 blocks down the road. The guys from the houses come up and box him in, and he's getting out of the car. And as he's getting out, they smashed his door in, which smashed his hand and it smashed his leg in. And they're like, blah, blah, blah. And then they called the police and said that he was trespassing. You can't trespass from the sidewalk if you're taking pictures.
Public property.
Yeah.
You're free to do it.
And the sheriff, he's not making my report.
Yeah, sheriff didn't even take a full proper report. So he had to file a report with one of his friends that are police officers. Like, the police reports start with this and this.
Where was this at?
That's a Burien.
This is in Burien?
Yeah.
And the next day I go to hour and a half away from making my report. The lady said, "Can you take the bandage?" Like, no, you have opportunity yesterday for take the picture for the evidence.
Once he went
and
back,
everything.
they wanted to do the full report again. They're like, "No, you had the. I was here. You were here
I did this whole
yesterday."
thing. Don't make me repeat it.
don't make me do it again.
It's crazy to me. You literally have law-abiding citizens yourselves who are now being assaulted. You have quite clearly what seems to be happening, and then you have all this information. I still don't understand how they're so bad at solving this problem because it's teed up for them. Also, in the middle of a mayoral race, I just got to say, for Mayor Bruce Harrell or Katie Wilson, what a perfect opportunity for one of them to step in and be a defender of the restaurants.
Law-abiding businesses and citizens,
that make the city a place that you actually want to be. I mean, food trucks are such a vital part of this community, and it'd be really cool to be, if you were running one of those businesses, to not feel like you're being priced out by illegal businesses on the side of the road.
Now, is that your truck from your hand, or is that where they're cooking the food? Because that's a mess.
That's his hand.
That's your hand.
Showing us pictures right now of his bloody hand.
Yeah.
That's horrible. That's
Yeah.
awful. So
the health inspectors will even tell you that they're afraid to go talk to these houses. I mean, if you're threatening a health inspector official, what else do you need? Just that simple fact that you're threatening inspectors should be enough to shut you down.
That's a red flag in my book. If the health inspector's unwilling to go and investigate because he's afraid for his safety, I feel like that's a problem that they should take it up to the next level. Go ahead, Spike.
I was raised on the streets, well, not on the streets, but I'm from the rough and tumble, suburban neighborhoods of rural Baltimore.
I grew up on the tough streets of Everett.
You want to get the police's attention? You want to get the mayor's attention? Go get some of this food from some of these bad trucks and some of your food and put them in front of the mayor and say, "Okay, mayor."
You know what?
Yeah, try it. See
you
which
need
one.
to eat one.
Yeah.
You need
Your
to Aaron Brockovich
constituents
this.
get
You guys
to
seen
eat
Aaron
one.
Brockovich? You guys know Aaron Brockovich? Remember when she brings in the water? She goes, "We brought that in special
we brought
for
that
you."
in for
We brought that taco in special.
Enjoy that taco.
It's from a warehouse in
Mayor.
Renton with no refrigeration or hand washing station.
Yeah, once you get somebody that's in a government position, they will do something real quick.
All right, so what's the best way if people want to support actual businesses, actual food trucks and restaurants?
Great way
how
to
can
go.
people find where you guys do business and also help people out there listening?
What should they look for if they're walking up to a vendor? What's one thing you got to look for first to know you're getting good food?
So health inspector just changed the rules, so now everybody has to display their safety rating.
Okay.
Their safety rating is based on how many things they've done wrong and how many things. That's what they dock points. So if they have an excellent, that means they're doing everything right.
Yeah.
Just look for that health
Also,
inspector.
they should have a rating of some kind. That would be helpful.
That's the little face. Excellent.
The little
good,
face. Yep.
bad,
That tells you their
If
license.
the little face is puking, don't eat there.
Yeah, don't eat there.
Do you ever see at any of these like backpack vendors? Do they ever fake those?
No, you can't fake those because you just have to take a look and they'll tell you their business name and then their permit number, and you can literally just.
That one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
You can
you see
literally
like right in the window mostly.
Yep. You can just literally go on the health inspector website, type in that number, and they'll tell you if it's the business matches to
And beyond that, I mean, if you're at a shop that's got no place for the staff to wash their hands.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Look for a hand washing sink.
We all cook. We all have kitchens. We know what clean looks like. We know what dirty looks like and dangerous looks like. If you walk up to a vendor and you're not seeing the things that make safe food happen, walk past.
If you don't see a fridge and that guy's been hanging out for like 6 hours, something's going to happen.
It's awful.
Common sense.
Good job for you guys for getting out ahead of this, and I mean you're putting your life on the line too, Sergio. I hope you avoid trouble in the future. I hope that hand heals up. That is Misa Avila. He's with QT Food Trucks. Where's your food trucks going to be at?
So we're in Redmond on Avondale, Monday through Saturday from 10 to 3. We do lunches, and then we do events around the area. Tonight we're going to be over at the Wamo Theater for the concert.
Oh, fun!
Yes.
What kind of food do you guys cook?
Oh, we have Mexican food. We have the fusion from San Diego, so it's all about amazing guacamole and really good cuts of meat.
Oh my gosh! There's
refrigerated.
You're
Sir, with clean hands.
I'll invite you to come on my truck and you can see how clean that thing is.
I love it. I love it. All right, Misa Avila, QT Food Trucks, Sergio Garcia with the Pacific Northwest Food Truck and Restaurant Association. Thank you guys for bringing us a story, and stay safe out there. All right, we got a lot more coming up. John Curley's coming up next. Stick around. Be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
The John Curley Show.
And the reason I love autumn the most, and I guess that's why I love to grow pumpkins.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
Is because it's nature telling you summer is over and soon it will be dark and it will be cold and there will be no light. And just before, nature says, here's a prize for you because we know you're going to go into hibernation. So here's orange and yellow and fiery colors everywhere. So this is our final gift to you.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details. You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast!
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Stacey Rost here from Seattle Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of. And then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, prescriptions. But imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate, noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle, yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target problem areas: waistline, face, neck, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. For your free consultation and $250 off, visit ProSculpt.com for powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men. It's ProSculpt.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org. Kia just dropped the biggest EV deals we've ever seen. Save thousands on the EV6, EV9, Niro EV, and more at Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Frustrated flyers still feeling the impact of that IT outage at Alaska Airlines.
Yeah, it's a little irritating, We'll have to see what happens.
CBS's Michael Wallace reports the Seattle-based airline is still trying to get back on track after last night's ground stop.
The airline says the IT outage has been restored, but it'll take a while to reposition its planes and crews after it had to cancel at least 230 flights. Alaska says the problem began in the afternoon with a failure at its primary data center. The ground stop was lifted at 11:30 p.m. Pacific time. The airline says it was not a cyber attack and flight safety was never compromised.
New state agency tasked with investigating law enforcement use of deadly force is looking to expand. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch reports the state budgets may be getting in the way.
The Office of Independent Investigations was created last December and currently conducts investigations in the Southwest region, but the agency is looking to expand to the rest of the state. The problem is its budget has already been cut by 20%. Still, OII will ask state legislators for 5 new investigators in January. OII Director Roger Rokoff told TVW's Inside Olympia,
"You cannot do this work without the numbers that we're talking about, and I am confident that when they have the money, we're going to get the people."
James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Out of the closing bell reports, inflation inched back up to 3% last month. CBS's Kelly O'Grady says investors are now betting on another rate cut by the Fed next week.
Now, why? Because inflation did tick up. It did tick up to 3% annually, which is the first time we've seen a 3 in front of that number since January, but it didn't tick up as much as Wall Street expected.
President Trump says he's ending all trade talks with Canada over a controversial ad paid for by the province of Ontario. The ad uses clips from Ronald Reagan criticizing tariffs.
But over the long run, such trade barriers hurt every American worker.
President Trump called the ad fake. The premier of Ontario says his province is pausing it so trade talks can resume between the two countries. On Wall Street today, the Dow gained 472, NASDAQ ahead 263, S&P 500 up by 53 points. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 1:33 with Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. This report brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. Linwood to Seattle, 45-minute commute. Got a solid backup starting in Northgate Way, and that rolls all the way down to I-90. Bellevue to South Center, we've gone up to 40 minutes. Now you're crowded from 520 to the Renton Landing. Extra slow from Southeast 8th into Factoria. And then you've got another pretty hefty backup down there in South Center. Federal Way to Seattle, give yourself 45 minutes. We're a little crowded along South Center from an earlier collision. And then now a pretty thick backup starting near Mid-Boeing Field all the way into downtown Seattle. This is just volume. North 405 still pretty thick through the Renton S-curves up to the VMAC. And eastbound 18 now heavy crossing over Tiger Mountain over to about Deep Creek. In Tacoma to Olympia, we're back up to a solid hour commute. Traffic is stressful. One thing that's always stress-free, pricing on over 300 new Subarus with easy financing at Subaru of Puyallup. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Just gray and rainy for this afternoon and into tonight, and then more rain off and on through the weekend, heavy at times. Right now, looking at 57 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO Newsradio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. All right, very excited to have this next guest on. And he came into the studio with a nice insult, which was very sweet of him. John Curley joins us now. Welcome to the show, John.
What was my insult?
You said, I didn't know there was a show on before mine.
God, terrible lighting. Why do I come in here and do this?
It's horrible lighting.
It's a great joke, by the way.
It is a funny joke.
Thank you.
It's not that great. It's okay. It's kind of like...
Yeah, I got more.
He's got better ones. All right, John Curley, you have had on... We got a mayor race coming up in Seattle.
Yeah. Oh, yes, we do.
It's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
We have... In one corner, Katie Wilson.
Yes, I've endorsed her.
You've endorsed her. And in the other corner, we have Mayor Bruce Harrell, who's going to be on your show today at 4 o'clock. Is that right?
That's true. That's correct. Joe, my producer, still hasn't decided who he's voting for, so it's going to be his chance. We heard Katie yesterday. He is Bruce today.
Let me ask you a few questions about these candidates. Katie Wilson, you've talked to a few times now.
Yes, I have. The second time I've had her on.
Second time you've had her on. Do you have a strong opinion on whether or not she should win? Do you think she's going to win?
Seattle seems to have this thing of where they're not very patient, right? They haven't elected a mayor a number of times. I think the second term, I think it's been in
20 years.
Yeah, 2001 last time. So
there's a lot of other problems, right?
Yeah.
Shell, if you like having sex with boys you meet on buses, that could hurt you.
Is that researched? That's a pretty bold take.
Did he not? Was he not involved?
No. I meant no.
Unless he's going for that one particular voter. And then Mike had problems. Mike McGinn had problems. It goes through the snow and things like that. So people are always looking for some reason to throw the person out or not vote for them.
Yeah.
So this is, Bruce Harrell is actually behind. The last poll we saw when in the primary, she was at 50-some%. He was at 48. So he's got a little bit of an uphill climb. And it's always harder when you're running as the incumbent because then you have a record, right? When you come in as the scrappy underdog.
Pie in the sky dreams.
Yeah, and now it's a 43. And I even said to Katie Wilson yesterday, it's like a Netflix show or a reality show. Can a woman that has absolutely no experience run a city?
Yes.
Right? We'll find out.
There was a KUW article just a couple days ago that made news because it highlighted, and I thought the KUW article actually was kind of a fluff piece. It was not a hit piece on her. I felt like they were trying to excuse some of the things in it. But one of the things that came out was that Katie Wilson, who has made a lot of talking points out of how unaffordable it is to live in the city, how expensive it is for childcare, things like that. Well, in the article, you find out that her parents pay for her childcare and that her husband doesn't have a job. So those two things could be solved with her husband getting a job. But you addressed that last night with her. Let's play a little bit of that.
Oh, good. KUOW has a story, and you basically say, my husband and I are trying to make a living here. We can't, so we get some support from my parents. And it'd be, you're getting support from your parents.
Well, I mean, first, let's be clear.
How's that for a reaction?
Let's be clear. This is like during the campaign when I'm running for office. Okay, we're not, we're independent people.
Okay, all right, yeah.
So she's saying that she doesn't get help from her parents outside of the time when she's campaigning?
Well, you can infer that. You can infer that.
Yeah.
I have no problem with parents helping kids. Everybody does it. I think it's a wonderful thing if you're so
Good,
blessed
because
to have
you look at the next 30 years of your life. Trust me.
I know, and I'm totally fine with it. But when you're running on a platform of, boy, look at how tough life is, and I'm experiencing a tough life just the same way that you're experiencing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find out that, well, no, she's not actually, because her parents are living in New York, they're professors, she went to Oxford, they pay for everything. Those are different things. Is she selling herself as one thing when she's actually something different? Is that affecting her race at all, do you think?
No. In fact, when I asked her about it, she wasn't trying to shy away from it. She was the one that brought it up, or KUOW brought it up. She's just simply, that's an example. She's 43 years old, and she's having trouble, making rent and then also taking care of childcare. If anything, it makes her sort of more relatable to people, as opposed to, she would say if she had time, well, I'm not getting a whole bunch of big corporate dollars coming in like Bruce Harrell is. So, again, stories help sell candidates as well as they sell chest of drawers on Craigslist. So the story behind her is she is a scrappy woman who's trying to make it, and her parents are trying to help her out. She's not shying away from it.
Do you think that she's going to win the race?
Knowing the past history of the way Seattle votes, yes. Because here's the problem Bruce Harrell has, that she's so far to the left. He has to run to either right where she is or a little further to the left of her, which is hard.
To appeal to the people who might vote for her.
Right, because you can't show any sort of thing of like, well, I'm a little to the right of her, because then immediately that would cause all the, the Greek mythology, the Furies to fly around him and scream and yell at him. So he has to say things like, well, when somebody was asked, there's a King 5 debate, well, if somebody has been arrested 6 or 7 times and they have a long rap sheet,
Right.
what would you want to, what people are upset that person's not in jail. And he says, well, the first thing I want to know is, is this person hungry? And what was their childhood like?
That's right.
Right?
I want to swim upriver and find out about this
The last
person.
thing I want to do is put them in jail. Well, that's a hard left. I mean, that's way all over there. Well, he has to do that. Because if not, if he were to say, well, that person should probably do some time in the old Gray Bar Hotel.
How dare you?
Right. Because in the primaries, you run to the hard right or hard left, and then you try to, then if you are elected, you then are in the center, right? But she's so way out, he's got to be out there with her, and that's the challenge for him.
Well, the article from KUOW told me who I was voting for pretty easily. I'm voting for Katie Wilson's mom. Clearly, that's where the money's coming from. That's who's going to pay my child support.
Katie Wilson's doing very well with her parents.
John, you mentioned that the problem with Mayor Harrell right now is, as it has been for the last 6 incumbents in Seattle, is you've got a record to run on.
Yeah.
Well, that's Harrell's campaign against her, is that she doesn't have a record to run on. Right. I mean, she's got no experience. She's never led anything more than, so many 100 employees. She's a budget of $240,000. And you're talking about $90 million budget for Seattle? It's phenomenal numbers.
8.6
billion.
Yeah, you got it.
14,000 employees, $9 billion.
Yeah.
You've endorsed her. You think that
she's... only because I want to see socialism.
That's my question to you. What do you think is going to happen if she wins the job? And why do you want to see her get the job?
Well, I wanted to see her get the job because I want to try socialism, right? So we tried it in the UK right after World War II when they kicked Winston Churchill out, and then Adley gets in there and they socialize a whole bunch of stuff, and then it fails miserably. I just think, rather than dipping our toes into and socialism, I mean sort of the new definition of socialism, not the production, not taking over the production, but when you take so much of the sales and revenue and tax dollars from corporations, you are in effect, in light socialist ways. So her idea is, we'll just tax all these corporations, we'll redistribute all the wealth to all of these services, and then the city of Seattle will be great. So, go ahead, try it. The same thing is going to happen in New York City. Let's see. And then once you see it, then we're like, okay, we're never doing that again. But if you put the bullfrog in the water and slowly take the heat up, the bullfrog's like, well, this isn't so bad. Let's get some other bullfrogs in this hot tub. But if you all of a sudden get it, put it in place, and people realize, we're never going to do that again because Amazon leaves, Microsoft leaves, small businesses go away, and we continue to have a vacancy rate of 36% in the city. So that's why I did it. It's almost an experiment. People, I can't believe you're endorsing that idea. Only because I just want to see it. Besides, I don't pay taxes. I don't live here, so I don't give a crap.
You're just toying with their lives, not your own.
Sure, absolutely. It's an experiment.
It is interesting because you are watching this play out. Like Mom Donnie's likely to win. I think the latest thing I saw, he says like a 93% chance.
Yeah, because
of
the
winning.
other candidates are so bad. Nobody wants Cuomo back.
Cuomo's
in there
awful,
again. Right?
Yeah.
And Curtis is kind of nutty. He's sort of nutty. They don't want him.
It is interesting though. Like coastally you are seeing on the right and the left of America, you're seeing kind of a very similar candidate at the same time happen. And do you think if Harrell was, what can Harrell do? You're going to talk to him at 4:00.
Yeah.
What can he do in these last remaining days to
He
give
can
himself
secure
a
his
shot?
base, make sure they're there, and just hope the history of young voters that rent don't show up to vote. That's the thing that he could hope for. Get enough people out there to vote for him, but and hope that all the young folks that are screaming and yelling about democracy and everything else just are not there. They don't put the ballot in. They don't care enough because they're normally the ones that are active, but they don't make the final move.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, John Curley's going to talk to Mayor Bruce Harrell today at 4 p.m.
I look like I'm 100 years old in here.
Yeah, it's really bad lighting. You don't look a day over 75 in this lighting, John. Is your lighting better? There it is.
That's why we do radio, John.
All right, that's John Curley. You can tune into him today at 4 p.m. with Bruce Harrell. He'll be on at 3 o'clock.
Wow, Laura looks older with you just sitting next to her. What is it about you? Look at her. She put on 25 years just when John sat next to her.
You're creeping her out now. All right, we're going to be right back. Stick around.
Bye.
The Closing Bell is brought to you by Trajan Wealth Management.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Touchdown Seahawks! Steve Rabel made the catch.
Number 96, Cortez Kennedy. He was as wide as he was tall, and he was in the backfield terrorizing quarterbacks and throwing them to the ground and wrapping up running backs and throwing them to the ground before they knew what hit them.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
Have you heard the saying, chuck in a truck? The guy running a roofing company out of his messy pickup? Well, here's the scary part. Washington doesn't require a test or experience to be a licensed roofer, and they definitely don't require a brick and mortar location. Chuck could be working out of his apartment with 0 employees, hiring random guys off the street. Yikes. And the SBA says 90% of roofers are out of business within 5 years. Jim here, Chief Roof Nerd at RoofSmart, where we do things right. We have a real location on Central Avenue in Kent and a team of 50 full-time roofing pros who actually know what they're doing. We're not some fly-by-night outfit. We've put down roots, or in our case, a cement foundation, so you'll always know where to find us. No disappearing acts, no cut corners, just top-quality work from people you can trust. That's RoofSmart. Come see for yourself, or call us at 206-487-4877, or visit us online at getroofsmart.com. That's 206-487-4877 or getroofsmart.com.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home. by taking advantage of its national Red Tag sales event, now extended through October 26th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag sales event, extended to October 26th. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Carter Subaru, Seattle's only Subaru dealership, has the largest selection of Subarus in our state. For a limited time, you can get the 2025 Subaru Outback for 0.9% financing for 60 months. With over 100 Outbacks to choose from, you're going to find the exact color and trim you've been looking for. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 10/31/25.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Get a quote today at progressive.com.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167 without a Good-to-Go account, you'll now receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. A Good-to-Go pass saves $2 on every toll. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Welcome back to the show. All right, next hour. Starting next hour, we're going to talk to the daughter of that guy, Good Samaritan guy, who was attacked after just being a Good Samaritan. He was trying to offer a family, 2 parents and 7 kids, a ride. They were outside walking alongside the road. He pulls over, offers them a ride. Shortly thereafter, down the road, he gets some of the worst neck injuries I have ever seen. The pictures are just send chills down your spine. And anyway, his daughter's going to join us and tell us a little bit about him and what happened. We're still trying to get to the bottom. What happened in this case? It's pretty crazy. So she'll be with us live next, so make sure you stick around for that. Spike, over the break, you and I were having a conversation. We thought we'd open it up to the audience, which I do think is an interesting conversation. We just had John on. He endorsed Katie Wilson for mayor of Seattle.
Right.
Because he says, let people try it. Let people try socialism. Let them touch the stove, get burned, see if they don't like it, and then back off and get back to reality versus keeping Mayor Bruce Harrell in office and, you know, kind of everything runs as it's been running.
Status quo.
Status quo.
Right.
Maybe you like it, maybe you don't, whatever. But it does seem like, especially here on the left coast and on the East Coast as well, but on the left coast, there is this flirting that happens in these big cities, these big blue cities, with socialism. Can it work? Do you think it's a good idea? What do you think about this?
Well, I think John's take on this is very thought-provoking. It's a great question. What's in the best interest of Seattle?
Yeah.
I mean, when you talk about giving someone your endorsement, right? You think they're the best candidates. What's best for the city? I think John's endorsing Katie Wilson to just let's get it over with. This flirtation with socialism. Mm-hmm. Let's try it and see what it does. And John doesn't have any faith in it working. I think he's spot on.
Yeah, he's right about that.
So isn't electing the mayor, the current mayor, better for the city than watching the city go off a cliff?
Well, that's a
by
question.
trying. So that's what's best: short-term failure for long-term better benefit?
It's easier for us to speculate about this because we don't live in the city. Laura, you live in the city.
I do.
I'm not going to ask who you're voting for. I don't want to put you on the spot unless
I actually don't know yet.
You don't know yet?
Yeah, my ballot's sitting on my coffee table. Got to make up my mind.
As you consider it, are you thinking about long-term Seattle benefits or short-term Seattle benefits?
Well, long-term, because I want to be in Seattle long-term.
Yeah.
I'd like to be able to stay within city limits and eventually raise a family within city limits. I grew up within city limits.
Sure.
So that's my goal. And I want to think about, short-term survival, but mostly long-term.
Yeah, interesting. I would like to open it up to the text line. I think this would be a really interesting question for the audience. 888-973.
Who should Laura vote for?
Yes, actually, no, that's a great question. 888-973.
Whichever one wins in the text line, I will. I'm kidding.
Don't say you're just like all elections. You can let your cat decide, which I think is a solid political plan.
I put a treat on each name and see where her nose goes.
Yeah,
it is interesting though because you are seeing it. It's going to happen. It's almost statistically a guarantee, almost a guarantee that Mamdani's going to win in New York.
That one looks a lot more certain than our
that
close election.
That was way close. I mean, way more serious.
When the primary was over, it was a 14-point swing in the primary, and now it's down to a couple of points. He's 50-48. I think she's up on top on Harold.
Oh, you're talking about locally here.
Locally, I'm talking about, yeah.
I think Mamdani's he's 20-something points ahead
unless Mr. Street Avenger, Sliwa gets out of the race and doesn't split the opposition ticket, then Cuomo might be able to catch him. Otherwise, it's a done deal.
But again,
let's quit flirting with it. Let's get in bed with socialism. Let's see what we wake up with.
Everybody seems to be pretty nervous about it in New York, and I wonder if people are not feeling do they just not feel like she's as extreme as Mamdani is, or are they thinking that
Wilson? You mean
Wilson? Because she just doesn't have any experience at all running a city. Neither does Mamdani, obviously.
No. Well, I think John nailed that race. The New York races, the other two candidates are both just so bad.
Yeah, I mean, obviously New Yorkers aren't going to elect Curtis Lee.
When the socialist accused communist is the guy that's seems like a 98% chance of winning the race, what does that tell you about the other candidates? I mean, geez.
Cuomo's a very, very flawed candidate.
You go
yes.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to have a hard time, even if the Republican, Curtis Sliwa, jumps in,
out.
Which he's not going to do. He has promised he's not going to do that. But even if he jumped into Cuomo's camp, just like
by pulling out and throwing his constituency
just
behind.
like former Mayor Adams did today,
yeah.
or yesterday, and said, "Hey, I'm going to support this guy, even though we called each other names during the election. I'm going to support this guy
Still better
for the
than
good
that
of New York."
Guy. Yeah.
Yeah, they would all have to group together, and even then, it's not a guarantee because you'd have to get every single one of Sliwa's voters, which I just don't know if everybody could go in there and pull the lever for Cuomo.
No,
but with Katie Wilson, it's going to be interesting to see. So that's your question: 888-973-5476. Should Seattle just get over with it, get it over with, embrace it, try it out, see that it fails, and then get back to reality, or should they get Harold in there? Who should Laura vote for? 888-973-5476. All right, we got a lot more.
You decide.
You decide. We got a lot more. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Radio exclusive.
This is Charlie Harder. I've spent the past 6 weeks investigating a story involving a youth pastor, child abuse, a mayor, and a name change, all while civic leaders appear to look the other way.
I've read the police report. It is horrible. It is sickening.
There's some level of calculation there.
You have to make it right.
How does no one have a problem with it?
Watch the full story at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio YouTube page.
Progressive knows road trips without your pet can be tough.
Hi, this is Next Stop Dog Boarding.
Hi, it's Scott again. How's Squeaks doing? You can tell if he's stressed by his eyebrows. Oh, and his breathing should sound like this.
Scott, Squeaks is exactly the same as last time you called.
Okay, let's talk in 20 to see if anything's changed.
With Progressive, your pet is covered up to $1,000 in vet bills in case of a car accident. So next time, you can take your pet with you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300. That's 206-656-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Upgrade your home comfort and save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. With great savings plus free financing on heat pumps, water heaters, generators, and more, our award-winning team has what you need to stay cozy this chilly season at a cost you're comfortable with. Voted best in the Pacific Northwest, we're honored to be your dedicated home comfort company since 1957. Call Bob's and save today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
Looking for a high school that nurtures both the mind and spirit? Archbishop Murphy High School is where academic excellence meets faith-based education. With a 100% graduation rate and a college prep program designed to challenge and inspire, our students are prepared for whatever the future holds. But it's more than just academics. Archbishop Murphy's robust athletics, arts, and co-curricular activities ensure that every student finds their passion and thrives. Archbishop Murphy High School believes in educating the whole person. That's why we offer a vibrant campus life where students grow not only academically, but also spiritually, socially, and physically. Don't just take our word for it. See it for yourself. Schedule a visit and discover how Archbishop Murphy High School can help your students succeed. Visit am-hs.org. IRG Physical and Hand Therapy proudly supports Archbishop Murphy High School, where your story begins. am-hs.org.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Christopher Cruz in Washington. We begin with the real-life effects of the government shutdown that are becoming clearer by the day.
Today should have been payday, but instead this federal worker received nothing. We agreed to alter their voice and not use their name.
I'm seeing all of this gold in the White House, and I'm hearing about money being sent to other countries, and I just don't understand why it doesn't feel like America first.
They've been with their federal agency for over 3 decades.
I give my all as a federal employee. I love what I do. I love working with people, and I take it seriously.
But right now, they say they're not getting enough support. And with 2 adult children living at home, things are tight. Lynn Bowie for CBS News Washington.
On Wall Street today, the Dow, S&P 500, and NASDAQ all closed at record highs after an inflation report came in lower than expected. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
With this report, Social Security benefits will increase by 2.8% starting in January. That annual cost of living or COLA adjustment is based on consumer prices from the third quarter.
The Pentagon has ordered an aircraft carrier strike group to sail from the Mediterranean Sea to the waters off Latin America. It's an unprecedented escalation in the military's war on alleged drug traffickers operating in international waters off Venezuela. CBS News Pentagon correspondent Charlie D'Agata.
This is a major step forward, and my good friend David Martin, who worked before me at this position, he said there's no flex like a carrier strike group. So that's what we're seeing here.
New York Attorney General Letitia James was defiant today after pleading not guilty to federal mortgage fraud charges.
I will not be distracted. I will do my job each and every day, and that's why I'm headed back to New York, because there's work to be done standing up for the rule of law.
CBS's Scott McFarland says James will try to get the charges thrown out before her trial in January even begins.
Federal prosecutors bringing cases against people who argue they are Trump's political enemies, who may eventually argue there's a vindictive, selective prosecution underway. It's also possible Letitia James makes that argument too, files another motion to dismiss this case in the coming days and weeks, arguing that she is being vindictively prosecuted, unlawfully so, for political purposes.
The FDA says more than 141,000 bottles of cholesterol medication are being recalled. Atorvastatin calcium tablets are the subject of the recall. The numbers from Wall Street's record-setting day, the Dow up 1%, NASDAQ closed up more than 1%. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Take the next step forward in your career with great benefits and an award-winning workplace. Apply at careers.progressive.com.
Well, the first big waves of rain this season have arrived. We'll have details after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
You got that right, Aaron. In fact, it is dumping in downtown right now. Be sure to keep a safe distance out there. Look for standing water. Make sure your headlights are on. This report brought to you by D.R. Horton. Linwood to Seattle is a 45-minute drive. It is solid from Northgate Way all the way past the West Seattle Bridge now. This is just volume. Same story, North 5. You're packed from mid-Boeing Field into downtown. Bellevue to South Center is at 35 minutes. You're slow from about Southeast 8th and Bellevue down to the Renton Landing. You'll catch a little breather and then another hefty backup through South Center. North 405 now heavy from South Center through the Renton S-curves. South Center to Bellevue is pushing a half hour. Tacoma to Olympia continues to rise. We're at an hour and 10 minutes now. The D.R. Horton National Red Tag Sales Event has been extended through the 26th. Visit a D.R. Horton community today or drhorton.com. America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Expect this wet and windy weather to continue through at least Monday. Meteorologist Ted Wiener says we could see some powerful wind gusts, especially along the coast.
All of that is going to start to pull down a lot of the leaves that are ready to come down. And there's the possibility of a few isolated power outages.
And high elevation snow means some of our mountain passes are off limits for the season. WashDOT's Lauren Paget says they've closed both Chinook and Cayuse passes near Mount Rainier.
It will remain closed all season as we are expecting some snow in the area this upcoming weekend.
This year's closure does come a little earlier than usual. Hundreds of Alaska Airlines flights have either been canceled or delayed since last night. This is due to that IT outage that caused a ground stop. KIRO 7 TV found passengers at SeaTac Airport navigating a sea of suitcases and baggage claim.
I swear we were down there for over 2 hours.
It's kind of a mess, honestly. It looks like there's probably 3,000 bags here.
Outage has been restored, but more disruptions are expected in the coming days. The Pierce County Sheriff is investigating why some deputies did not record the alleged DUI crash involving one of their own. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey looked into body camera policies at other departments.
Every major agency I asked told me their officers or deputies are absolutely required to activate their body cameras. Lieutenant Kirk Waldorf with Seattle Police.
Anytime we're taking enforcement action or dealing with a crime or investigating a crime, they'll be on.
At a press conference Thursday, Sheriff Keith Swank said deputies at the July crash scene involving Major Chad Dickerson, where a family was injured, are under review because they either didn't activate their cameras or turn them off.
And I don't know if there's anything I can do about it.
He says he's working with the union to change policy language from should activate to shall activate. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Cal Raleigh earns his first big award this offseason, being named Sporting News Player of the Year. That award is voted on by more than 300 fellow players. Raleigh becomes just the second catcher to win the award, given out since 1936. We'll find out next month if he wins the biggest prize of the season. That's the AL MVP award. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Some heavy downpours at times today and through the weekend. Highs in the upper 50s. Right now, 58 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. Normally, this time of the show, we usually do our Friday favorites, and we look back on a week of amazing audio or whatever we have that we're excited to rehash. But today, we're excited. We have a guest on with us.
Yeah.
And this is a very interesting guest. Her name is Christina Brown. Her dad was involved in one of the craziest, saddest stories. It had a very fortunate ending in that he did not die from his injuries, but it was a crazy story. You have a guy who was a good Samaritan, stopped on the side of the road just to help a family that he thought needed help, and he ends up bleeding, as life at risk, and it's just one of those stories that I've never heard before. So we're excited to have her on with us right now. Help us to make sense of a little bit of this. Christina Brown joins us now. Christine, thank you so much for making the time.
Hi.
So, Christina, your dad is Melvin Swaggerty, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and as I understand it, last weekend, was it just last weekend, he was driving along was it last weekend?
Yeah, it was Sunday night, Monday morning.
Okay. Your dad was driving around. He had just finished or was on his way actually to a DoorDash order, I believe. And he spots
he was in the middle of a DoorDash.
In the middle of a DoorDash.
And this is like before work for most of us on a Monday morning. Your dad's out on the roads like around 6 o'clock in the morning doing a delivery.
So he sees a family on the side of the road. He sees a couple of parents and a bunch of kids. So it's anybody's eyes would be drawn to that. 7 kids. And he pulls over to help and take it from there. Tell me what happened.
He was just thinking of his kids because he's got 3 kids and then he's got 4 grandkids. So he was thinking of them, at the time. And he was like, what if it was my grandkids on side of the road? I would hope that somebody would stop and help them too. So he was just like, what? I got to stop. I got to help. At least see if they need help. And so he stopped. He helped them out. Asked them, like what can I do to help you? And I guess a ride is what they needed. So he was like, yeah, sure. Let's get into the car and, tell me where you're going. So he drove the direction that they needed to go and turned onto Carlsborg Road. So it was at Deer Park Road that he picked them up around that area and turned left at Carlsborg Road. And right after the fire department, just right when it starts getting dark, is when the assault started happening. My dad said that he remembers a couple things from that. He remembers the lady saying now, which sounds very horrible. And then he remembers the guy telling him, "Why won't you die?"
Wow.
As he's stabbing him.
And your dad, I've seen the pictures. He got stabbed in the back of the neck and in other places on the body as well. Is that right?
Yes. His neck from right about here.
She's pointing to right around her collarbone. Yeah.
Here is all messed up. That's the worst. I did see his cuts on his chest, but all up on his neck and the back side of his head is the worst area.
So Christine, they attack your dad and steal the car. Do they throw your dad out of the car? I mean, how's your dad found? How does he get to help?
He was like pushed, but he also fell out at the same time because he
was trying to escape.
Remembers he just remembers like just getting out because he knew that was a fight that he was not going to win. So he remembers getting out. He remembers people surrounding him and trying to help him. And he said that he also remembers asking about the kids, the 7 kids that were in the car. Like, are they okay? Like, make sure the kids are okay. He remembers the DoorDash customer. Like, can you get a hold of the DoorDash customer and let them know I can't deliver?
These are the things he's thinking of as he's bleeding on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Your dad sounds like a pretty cool guy.
He is.
You said they'd just gone past a fire station. Is that who found your dad and took him to medical help?
No, thankfully there was somebody in a car behind him, a witness in a car behind him that witnessed the assault happen and witnessed my dad falling out of the car and witnessed the car driving away. Like saw the other dude getting into the driver's seat and just driving away.
That's amazing that there was, because my mother-in-law lives out in this area, and that's a fairly secluded area, right? I mean, there's a very good chance at that time of the morning that there wouldn't have been a lot of people around. So the fact that there was somebody right behind him who was able to immediately assist him is kind of a blessing.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm beyond blessed for that person. I am very thankful for that person. I have, you know, I am hoping that person will, you know, see, you know, any type of news media or anything and just be like, you know, I'm glad and feel good knowing that somebody was there to help my dad.
Saved a life. Yeah.
You know,
Did the doctor say, would your dad, if that person wasn't there, did they know were these life-threatening injuries that your dad had? They certainly look like it. When you look at the pictures, they look pretty horrible.
Yes, they were really, really close. I don't think if there was nobody behind him, I don't think he would have made it, or he would have came really close to not making it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
If there was nobody behind him. But he told me, and my uncle told me, that the doctors told him, because it took 6 hours, I think it was 6 hours or 9 hours of surgery is how long it took him for surgery, to repair everything. He said that the doctors told him that he is a very lucky person because it missed a lot of his major arteries and his jugular. So he's just lucky. The only thing that really happened that was big was he had a collapsed lung.
So can you tell me, is there any insight? I know your dad says that the situation just happened so fast and that as it would for any of us, that's the kind of thing you wouldn't even know it was happening. It would just kind of black it out. Was the family argumentative with the people? Because it was the mother and the father, right? The man and the woman that he picked up
right.
that were assaulting him. Was there some sort of words that were exchanged? Was this a plan? Do police have any insight into, were these people waiting to be picked up so that they could then attack somebody and steal their car? Because that's what ended up happening. But was this just a random thing?
I don't know. My dad hasn't spoken much about that. He only has said what he remembers them saying right before the attack happened. And everything after. He remembers, picking them up. He did say that there was he didn't say anything to them for something to come across as rude or mean, for them to just be like, all right, I'm just gonna beat you up.
Well, I wouldn't think he would. He'd stop to pick them up on the side of the road.
And when like you said, the woman's yelling now. Your dad remembers. It sounds like it was premeditated, and they were looking for a victim to steal a car from. We're talking to Christina Brown. Her dad is Melvin Swaggerty, who was attacked. And I know you understand your dad is out of the hospital and home now.
Yes.
Okay. What's the long-term recovery for your dad? Is he going to be able to make a full recovery?
Yes, he will. He's gonna have a lot of emotional trauma. When my uncle took him back home when he was released from the hospital, it took a few hours to drive over there. But when they got closer to Carlsborg Road, because you have to go past Carlsborg Road for you to get to his house. And as they got closer and closer, he was terrified, and he started crying, and the moment that they passed, it was just tears everywhere. He can't even go close to that road.
He'll drive by that road every day of his life.
He'll
have to relive
this. Can you tell us too? I saw in the Como had a great piece on this. Your dad has 3 kids, and you mentioned that he has 3 grandkids. Is that right? 3 grandkids?
4 grandkids, but one of them is adopted out, but yes.
Okay. So he's thinking about his kids and his grandkids. He just wants to get back and get healthy. Is that the kind of guy that your dad is? I mean, he seems, I've seen pictures of him. He looks like a very friendly guy. Is he just a character? Like, tell us a little bit about your dad.
Well, I unfortunately haven't had very much close contact with him. I've had a lot of over the phone contact with him because I live all the way in Omak. I can't just drive over there, and he can't just drive over here.
Sure.
But he's a pretty good guy.
He seems like anybody who would pull over and help a family of 7. That's a pretty good egg.
Anybody out driving DoorDash deliveries at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock on a Sunday or Monday morning?
Yeah, making life work.
What did your dad do in his life? What's his background?
I know that one of his favorite radio stations, he listens to them almost every day. It's Cafe 104.1. They call him Captain Kaboom. And I just recently found that out throughout the last couple days because they got a hold of me. They reached out to me and they wanted to do an over-the-air talk with me. And they told me that he's called Captain Kaboom. And they named him Captain Kaboom because he does fireworks. He sells fireworks twice a year, once around closer to
probably New Year's and July 4th.
Around 4th of July.
Yeah. Oh, funny. All right, Christina.
So they named him Captain Kaboom because he does that and he likes to sell fireworks.
Christina, if we posted this on the Facebook page, but there's a GoFundMe set up to help with some of your dad's medical expenses and help him recover because this is going to be a long road to recovery. Have the doctors indicated how long he's expected to take before he's back up and about and able to move around?
I'm not sure. I do know that when I've talked to him over the phone, today was like the first day that I got to see him video call. And what I witnessed on that is that he cannot really turn his head really any direction without those stitches or staples possibly like making it to where some stuff comes out, like some blood or anything coming out. So it's hard for him, just physically turning his head. So it's kind of just like a for him right now.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Christina, thank you so much for coming on with us and giving us a little insight into your dad. Melvin, we wish him a speedy recovery. And if anybody's interested in donating to that GoFundMe, they can find that on our Facebook page, the Jake and Spike Show Facebook page. And give our best to your dad for us, would you?
Thank you.
I
will.
You bet. Thanks so much, Christina.
That's Christina Brown. There she goes. Boy, that's an insane story.
It's an insane story. And these people were just laying in wait looking for preying on a good Samaritan. That's what it would take to have the trap they laid for this gentleman.
Well,
would require a good Samaritan for it to work, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the kind of thing where was it spontaneous or was it something that because it's such an odd time in the morning. It's like it's an early morning crime. I mean, not like it would make more sense if it doesn't make sense any time of day.
No, it's nuts.
But it just and now these, they've been arrested. They found the car. They found the people who allegedly did this. Yeah. And they've been arrested. And then those kids, you have 7 kids between ages of 6 months and 14 years, I think, who are now in child protective custody. It's just a horrible situation. It's one of those stories that you just never hear about, and this just happened.
This GoFundMe page that Christine set up for her dad. If you don't want to go to if you can't get to our Facebook page, we recommend that you do. There's a lot of great stuff there. But if you just go to GoFundMe and do a search, and this is bizarre, search for "stabbed while helping."
Jeez.
I mean, that's how bizarre this story is.
Horrible movie
right?
title. It's like Sleepless in Seattle, but awful. Stabbed while helping? That's horrible. I don't even mean to make a joke.
I know,
but
that tells you how horrible and bizarre this story is.
Horrible.
But I do think the outpouring of support that's already happened on the GoFundMe, I mean, we really have a chance to prove that this is not who we are as a state, as a community. People are really stepping up to help.
That's nice. That's very nice. Yeah, poor guy. That's awful. Just the last thing in the world you think would ever happen. I would totally do this. I would if I was
stop for somebody on the side of the road.
No, not normal people. But if I saw children, if I saw people with kids, and that's the thing. That's the only reason that I would stop. Because I got to be honest, I am very suspicious because of all the movies that I saw growing up, stopping and helping people on the side of the road. That used to be a big part of American culture. That
that's how they get you.
I don't think it happens anymore. Nobody stops.
When we first had the story earlier in the week, I was raised in an era of hitchhiking. You hitchhiked all over the place.
Yeah.
I hitchchiked from Baltimore to Philadelphia to see a concert once. I was 15.
Did people pick you up?
Yeah, with no problem. Easy breezy.
Jump up in the back?
Yeah. No, we didn't think twice about it.
Thumb out? Was that a thing?
Me and my brother put a thumb out.
Yeah.
Hitchhiked from Baltimore to Philly, coming home.
Show a little leg.
That's the same way you get home. Yeah, the leg helped, I'm sure. Those were easier times in America.
Easier days. But nobody picking you up was worried you were going to kill them or stab you in the neck.
No.
And now you got to worry. Even when you pick up a family, now you got to worry.
7 kids.
So if I see somebody walking on the side of the road and there's got a bunch of kids, guess what? I'm probably not pulling over.
Nope.
Maybe I'll do like a slow drive-by and just be like, does everybody need help? Is everybody okay here? Just do some sort of a visual assessment.
How can you got 7 kids? You just drive past and then call somebody.
Yeah, I don't know how you can do that.
Call Uber. Tell them where they were.
Something.
Send back a car.
There you go. All right. That was Christina Brown talking about her dad, Melvin Swaggerty. All right. We have a lot more coming up. Let's do our Friday favorites when we come back. Yes. We have had a lot of great stories this week, and it'd be a real shame to end the week without looking back on some of the greatness that you get every day on this show. So we're going to do that when we come back. Stick around for that. And then at the end of the hour, we got all your text messages. Lots of fun still to have. Stick around. We'll be right back.
KIRO Newsradio exclusive.
This is Charlie Harder. I've spent the past 6 weeks investigating a story involving a youth pastor, child abuse, a mayor, and a name change, all while civic leaders appear to look the other way.
I've read the police report. It is horrible. It is sickening.
There's some level of calculation there.
You have to make it right.
How does no one have a problem with it?
Watch the full story at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio YouTube page.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial #250, say micro. With Pure
Still alive today.
Please join me and make a donation to the Cancer Vaccine Institute at local Safeway stores. Learn more at uwcvi.org.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
Hey there, Dawn Riding with Olympic Hot Tub. You know what's better than soaking every night in a saltwater hot spring spa? Knowing you got it for an incredible price during our great rebate event. Save up to $4,500 on the best hot tub you can own. Saltwater soaking, incredible savings, sleeping better, feeling better. What are you waiting for? Our great rebate event ends October 27th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
We are all about your experience.
We are
Subaru
of Puyallup, your
stress-free
dealership.
Treat yourself to a stress-free car buying experience with Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. There is major progress to report in demolishing the Bullfrog Road overpass that was damaged earlier this week. More from KIRO News Radio's Chris Sullivan.
Contractors didn't need long in taking the overpass down. The bridge over the westbound lanes of I-90 is gone. All that's left is the concrete, rebar, and debris below. WashDOT says it will be next week before the westbound lanes will reopen, but that could change considering how fast the contractor demoed the bridge. The 64-year-old Canadian driver who hit the bridge appears to have had a miscommunication with his pilot car, hitting the overpass instead of getting off like he should have. He was fined $250.
Pentagon has accepted a $130 million donation to help pay troops during the government shutdown. President Trump called the anonymous donor a friend and a patriot. Legal experts warn the move may violate federal law, barring unapproved spending. President Trump's war against drug trafficking appears to be ramping up. White House advisor Stephen Miller.
These are terrorists, and they're going to be killed.
Military has now struck 10 alleged drug smuggling boats in the Caribbean and the Pacific. Washington Congressman Adam Smith chairs the House Armed Services Committee.
It is the President of the United States deciding to be judge, jury, and executioner when there is not an imminent military threat to the U.S.
At least 43 people have died since those strikes began in September. Another round of road work here could affect your travel this weekend. KIRO 7 TV's Renji Sinha reports on the 520 westbound closure across the lake.
Closing from 11 p.m. Friday to 5 a.m. on Monday. Normally with a closure like this, there wouldn't be any exceptions, but that is not the case this weekend. The westbound span will reopen for a few hours on Saturday for the UW game at Husky Stadium. Now, the Huskies are taking on the Illini of Illinois at 12:30 p.m., so the reopen is going to happen from 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Let's check real-time traffic now on a soggy afternoon with Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Yeah, it is really soggy. In fact, heavy rain has created water hazards around the region. And right now, South 5 and Mercer, that left lane is closed due to standing water. This adds to a bumper-to-bumper traffic backup, starting in North Gateway. Linwood to Seattle just hit 1 hour. Linwood to Bellevue is half that time at a half hour. And then once you get into Bellevue, South 405, you're slow from Bellevue all the way to the Renton Landing. Bellevue to Renton will take you a half hour. North 5 is heavy from Mid-Boeing Field in the downtown. North 405 now solid from South Center up to the VMAC. South Center to Bellevue is pushing 35 minutes right now. And Tacoma to Olympia, one of our real tough spots this afternoon at an hour and 15 minutes. The Tacoma Holiday Festival, presented by Puyallup Chocolates, is underway through the 26th at the Tacoma Dome. Buy tickets at holidaygift.shows.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Going to stay wet all afternoon. Heavy rain at times today and through the weekend. Also, a winter weather advisory in effect for the mountains. That is from 11 o'clock tomorrow night until 11 p.m. on Sunday. Right now, 55 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. Friday favorites. Let's just get right to it. We got too much time. No, scratch that. Too much stuff.
Too much
little
stuff.
time.
Can I say one thing first?
Please.
All three of our stories, we've all picked our stories.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of these is ripped from, it's like a Hollywood movie.
I know.
Every story we're covering in this break.
That's what we do. We do Hollywood type movies here. Big budget, 4-quadrant. It's giant movies.
It's beyond belief.
It's beyond belief. Good title for a movie, by the way. Laura, why don't you start us off?
Well, it's beyond belief that the Mariners lost on Monday night. And that's not my Friday favorite because that was a heartbreaking game to watch. But I did want to take a moment to reflect on an amazing postseason run, the feeling of excitement we all had before it was obviously crushed into smithereens. Yeah. And we had Greta Niehaus on the show on Monday before that game. And she was talking about watching that Grand Slam. So I just want to play a little bit of that and maybe try to recapture a little bit of the energy that we all felt
it was.
before Monday night.
There you go.
I thought, okay, if this happens and they hit a grand salami, I want to hear Rick calling it more than I even want to see it, So I went to the bathroom and I'm standing there in the bathroom holding my phone up to the speaker in the ceiling, put a voice recording his call.
Oh.
And sure enough, right then and there, it was the same kind of thing. That's when he hit the grand slam.
I mean, that meant so much to me because I listened to every game just on the Seattle Sports app, listening to Rick Rizz's call. And, we had one of the worst, hardest moments as Mariners fans this postseason, but we also had some of the best baseball we've had in years.
Yeah.
That we got to watch. And I don't know.
It was so cool, too, because she had that previous moment in the ALDS game.
Game 5, 15th
Game
inning.
5, where she goes to sit next to her dad, sit next to the statue of her dad. Viral photo is taken, becomes, a big story. And then that she was also at Game 5 watching and had the sense to say, hey, if he does something special here, I don't want to waste it and miss the radio call.
Right. I want to hear
She runs
Rick.
to the bathroom. Who does that? Like, that is the instinct there is very interesting that she kind of knew. She knew something special was about to
A
happen.
Mariners fan.
Yeah.
And how much her dad, Dave Niehaus, and Rick Riz mean to this town.
Yeah.
And
very cool.
Laura, that's a great choice because it's a hard week. It's a hard week for a Mariner fan, but let's not lose track of how great.
Yeah, you can't have the highs without the lows.
That's
This is a low, but we got there because we felt so high. Yada yada. It's nice.
You want to go next?
But
Or
it
me to go?
sucks. No, you go. Please go.
My story of the week is that it's opening week of the NBA season.
Hey!
And nobody cares because the NBA got busted for the biggest gambling scandal in
It got to be in NBA history.
Easily.
Yeah.
A couple of NBA players.
Could be in sports history as it starts to unfold.
Yes. Chauncey Billups, coach, and Terry Rozier, and
30 other folks were arrested all in one day.
Because NBA players got mixed up with organized mafia family, crooked card games.
Yep.
Which led to, we're talking about technology, a fixed card game, a private card game, big money, big stakes, big names.
People drawn in because they had the opportunity to play against folks in the NBA.
Right.
And they sit down at the table, not realizing that not only are the people who they were there to see part of it, but also, allegedly, but also the dealer, everybody else at the table, and you had this one fish, that's what they would call the people who came in, these fish who would just drop money, not realizing they were being cheated the entire time. X-ray glasses, right?
X-ray glasses, they have microchips inside the poker chips that could read what was on the cards on the table. I mean, sophisticated. But this led into game fixing, accusations of point shaving, of throwing games.
And you are now watching you and I on the commercial breaks, we're watching all this stuff, all these plays.
We've all seen moments of like, how do you make a call like that? How do you miss a shot like that?
How do you take that guy out of the game with 10 seconds left? Yeah. Stuff.
And now this parade of video evidence of like, oh, it makes sense if you think that. How deep does this go? How many games are affected by illegal gambling?
That's the question. That's what everybody's going to look at. And I saw an interview earlier by somebody who was saying, if you think this stops at the NBA, you're wrong, because he was saying you look at now, and again, this is just speculation. NBA players at least have a lot of money. They have a lot of motivation. They have a lot to lose to keep them from getting involved in something like this. So maybe you're like a degenerate gambler or something and you fall into this, but it's still going to be like a small percentage of the people who play in the NBA. If you were to lower it down to college sports, right?
Yeah.
Now, the vast majority of people who play in college will never make it to the next level. So their motivation for getting money while they can is a lot higher than it would be in the NBA. So I wonder if that's going to be something they're going to be digging into next. And there's easily just as much money, maybe more, bet on college games than there is on NBA games.
There's more action, more games.
There's more games happening. So why wouldn't there be more action?
I don't think it's just basketball. How many other leagues? How many other sports?
Oh, my gosh.
Who will ever forget the Rams and Saints no call of pass interference that sent the Rams to the Super Bowl?
People are every single.
How do you make a call like that?
You're totally right. Every single bad call going forward, somebody's going to go, Mafia? Like just a bad ref call? Could it be a Mafia?
That's big story.
It is a huge, massive story. You're totally right. All right, my big story, and that is like a movie. That will be a movie. Yeah, that'll be a movie for sure. Greta Niehaus, definitely that felt like a if you build it, he will come moment. This is my Hollywood movie moment was the giant heist that happened down Paris Way.
At the Louvre.
At the Louvre.
The Louvre. The Louvre. You can't make this kind of stuff up unless you got a great screenwriter, right?
Really brazen. Yeah, and even if you did, they'd say this is not believable. Because what they did was they just had one of those lift trucks that are used for like when people move into a building.
Second floor building, yeah.
Second floor
Furniture
building.
movers.
A lift truck goes down the road. An extendable ladder goes up. Couple people get in the bucket. It slowly rises up to the second level of the Louvre.
The most famous museum in the world.
Largest museum in the world. They open the window with a steel cutter, just like one of those circular saw steel cutters. Yeah. They get in there with a grinder. They walk through a gallery that's filled with people. The security guards on hand all leave because they don't want to have to fight with people with steel cutters. So that's a question. They walk over to a case holding the crown jewels, Napoleon's crown jewels. Was it Napoleon?
Napoleon's wife. Well,
wife
and the Empress.
And then they take the jewels, and then they get back on the cut. Do we have a video of this, Laura? This is funny. If you guys are watching on YouTube, these are the thieves leaving on that machine.
This is their not so quick getaway. Look at this. They're being lowered to the ground.
If this is not a Peter Sellers movie being filmed, I swear to you.
And so they can hop on little scooters.
They hop on some little motorbikes and just buzz away. Now, to the best of my knowledge, they haven't caught anybody yet.
Not yet.
Right?
Not yet.
And what's interesting about this is they have now, the company who makes that lift, I just saw this, is kind of interesting.
Oh, they got to be embarrassed.
They're not embarrassed.
No?
The company is called Becker, what is this? Becker Schwartz.
Okay.
Becker Schwartz makes these lift machines.
There it is. Oh,
there it is. Yeah.
This is their ad?
They've turned it into an ad. They actually they went and they bought the rights to that photo that everybody was using.
Yeah.
And now they're using it as the ad. And the ad says, I'll translate the German for you because it's in German. It's on the screen right now. It says, when you're in a hurry, the Becker Agilo carries your heavy treasures. Kind of brilliant.
Oh, my gosh.
Isn't that smart?
Oh. And we're talking, they couldn't even put a value on these crown jewels.
No.
Right? There were 9 cases at the second level of the Louvre.
Yeah.
And they use these metal grinders to cut through the plexiglass, whatever encasement that keeps them safe.
Yeah.
Because they're national treasures. They're priceless jewels.
Not great security.
They grind right through them as security takes they took the guests of the museum to safety, which, okay, I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. But you're armed with a battery-operated grinder.
And they just walk away.
And they slowly use a lift to be lowered back down to the street with the jewels.
I wonder if the security on hand didn't. Well, no, because the store. I was going to say I was giving them the benefit of the doubt. And I was thinking, I wonder if they didn't know where they came from, so they assumed they'd have to go out the front door and then maybe be approached by somebody else. But in the story, the security guards say we heard thudding on the outside of the window, and they noticed the guys cutting their way through. So they saw where they came in.
Coming in.
They saw the entry point.
Oh, so they're dressed like workmen. Clearly, this is regularly scheduled maintenance.
It's really bizarre. Do you think they're ever going to catch him?
Yeah. I think, anytime you got more than one person involved, you got a weak link.
Yeah.
Somebody out there knows somebody who knows something. There's going to be a massive financial reward posted as the time stretches on. They'll be one of those no questions asked. They just want the jewels back. But the fear is, are they going to be dismantled for the value of the jewels themselves?
They could get the guides. They're not going to get the jewels.
Right. That's where I was going.
Yeah, I think you're right. And the speculation is that they could have been a professional team hired by somebody who wanted this for a private collection. So you just might never, ever see these things again.
Well, I mean, that's the goal, because then at least they're still around.
Intact.
Right? I mean, to destroy history like that is, for me, like the most heartbreaking part of this.
That's the greatest fear of the French government.
I think there's a very good chance that they never find these guys.
Yeah.
Because it's France. You know
Let's
what I mean?
make a sequel.
If this was in America, we'd already have
We'd find them.
For sure. We also, hopefully, our security guards wouldn't just turned around and walked
run.
out. What is that? What is that? A grinder? Get out of here! Crazy. All right, we got your text messages coming up next. What a great week of stuff. We're going to hear all about it on the text messages next. Stick around. Oh yeah, also we're going to find out who Laura's going to have to vote for based on your text messages. We'll be back.
KIRO News Radio exclusive.
This is Charlie Harder. I've spent the past 6 weeks investigating a story involving a youth pastor, child abuse, a mayor, and a name change, all while civic leaders appear to look the other way.
I've read the police report. It is horrible. It is sickening.
There's some level of calculation there.
You have to make it right.
How does no one have a problem with it?
Watch the full story at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO News Radio YouTube page.
Looking for a high school that nurtures both the mind and spirit? Archbishop Murphy High School is where academic excellence meets faith-based education. With a 100% graduation rate and a college prep program designed to challenge and inspire, our students are prepared for whatever the future holds. But it's more than just academics. Archbishop Murphy's robust athletics, arts, and co-curricular activities ensure that every student finds their passion and thrives. Archbishop Murphy High School believes in educating the whole person. That's why we offer a vibrant campus life where students grow not only academically, but also spiritually, socially, and physically. Don't just take our word for it. See it for yourself. Schedule a visit and discover how Archbishop Murphy High School can help your students succeed. Visit am-hs.org. IRG Physical and Hand Therapy proudly supports Archbishop Murphy High School, where your story begins. am-hs.org.
Tired of uneven home heating and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings. Visit homecomfortalliance.com.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, "Buy low, sell high." There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rureka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event, now extended through October 26th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event, extended to October 26th. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Did you know September is historically one of the strongest months to sell a home, and there's typically a post-Labor Day boost that runs through October and sometimes even later. So is now the time to sell your home, and how much is it worth? Well, get an estimate of your home's value instantly at sellwithwest.com. If you want local expertise, someone who actually knows what's happening with the housing market in your neighborhood, there's no one more local than Wes Jones. Go to sellwithwest.com sellwithwest.com, sellwithwest.com, and start by using their free home value calculator to see what your home is worth. It might be worth more than you think. You'll get so much more than just a number from West Jones. We're talking about recent sales in your neighborhood, the market temperature in your city, side-by-side comparisons of multiple online estimates. You can even calculate how much equity you have, and even a breakdown of how your home's value has changed over time. Go to sellwithwest.com, type in your address, and bam, you'll have instant access to all of this and more. It's fast, easy, it's local. Sellwithwest.com, a better way to sell your home.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership and has the largest selection of Subarus in the entire state. For a limited time, you can get the 2025 Subaru Crosstrek starting at 1.9% financing for 60 months. With over 250 Crosstreks to choose from, you'll find the exact color and trim you're looking for. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized costs. See dealer for details. Valid through 10/31/25.
Fall rains can expose hidden roof problems, and once water gets in, the damage only gets worse. Is your roof ready for the season? Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. At State Roofing and Exteriors, we repair and replace roofs with a quality you've trusted for decades. And yes, we also provide siding, windows, decks, and gutters to keep your entire home protected. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule a free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Carpoolers using the SR 167 Express toll lanes now need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Having Good to Go always costs less than pay by mail. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it hard to fight flu, pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit buckys.com.
Upgrade your home comfort and save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. With great savings plus free financing on heat pumps, water heaters, generators, and more, our award-winning team has what you need to stay cozy this chilly season at a cost you're comfortable with. Voted best in the Pacific Northwest, we're honored to be your dedicated home comfort company since 1957. Call Bob's and save today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
All right, welcome back to the show. Lots of text messages to get to. Laura, why don't you kick us off?
On Councilmember Reagan Dunn's idea for a stupid motorist law, 360 says, if the stupid motorist law is enacted, there will be about 2/3 less traffic on the road. LOL.
Love it. Love it. Do it. Enact it.
Josh in Auburn, that's great. Josh in Auburn says, it's not just us truck drivers. I look down at people's cars every day when I'm driving. That's scary. Everybody's on their phone and people are watching Netflix or YouTube while driving. It's ridiculous. I believe them. I believe them, but that's just horrifying.
I see this all the time too. It's funny because when I see like Teslas or self-driving cars that have this ability, and I see that people don't have to have their hands on the wheel, I'm still a little bit shaken by that.
I don't know that I've looked over even. I know it's out there. I haven't seen one doing it live. I've never. I see it
on the freeway from time to time.
Okay.
But I have also seen people driving with one hand in an older car, and I saw it today on the way on a 4Runner, probably like a late 90s, early 2000s 4Runner, driving a 4Runner, straight up looking at their phone with the other hand. And I was right next to him in traffic, and I was like, all right, I'm going to switch lanes and get as far away from this person as possible.
I always tap my horn when I see something like that. I try to get their eyes up.
That's a good idea too.
You know?
Yeah, good idea. All right, 206. Kevin in 206 says, why can't the state sue the trucking companies to recoup the cost of the bridges? Don't they have insurance? I believe that does happen in these cases.
Yeah, and I think Representative Dunn's initiative, his proposed legislation, is to just give people a larger fear of consequence to make them more accountable as they're driving.
Highlight the stupid driving so people don't do it.
Athena in Port Orchard says, I'm going to put my conspiracy theory hat on. Are the bridges that are getting hit bridges that happen to have good grades or bad grades when they were evaluated?
That's a good question.
We were saying that earlier. How do you get a new bridge in your town? Hit the old one.
Hit the old bridge. All right, let's see here. On the Snohomish River watershed, having legal rights, Todd says the rights of nature is crazy talk. The resistance to the protection of our very lifeline makes me sick. The resistance to the protection of our very lifeline. So he's saying the resistance to protect the river, which is our lifeline?
No. He's saying the rights of nature is crazy talk? You missed that question mark.
Oh, I missed the question mark.
Yeah, the resistance to protection of our natural very lifeline makes me sick. He thinks that the river is worth protecting, and he kind of is on the side of the rights of nature movement.
Okay,
I'm getting from that.
That's a fair question, Todd. I disagree, but fair question.
Rich and Burian says, I think a river having rights is equally laughable as a corporation having rights and being a person.
Interesting stuff.
Interesting time we live in. On illegal street cart food vendors, Jaden in Olympia says, I totally ate one of those hot dogs after a game right outside the left field gate. I walked right past that guy. I had a bit of a buzz, so I really didn't care too much about how good I was. Just dang good. I kind of had a thought, but didn't think too much about it.
Until later.
Yeah.
Sitting on the toilet
Wake
all
up
night.
in terror and sweat.
G. and Puyallup says, since these out-of-state food truck enterprises are suspected to be organized crime, it is entirely possible they have committed bribery on the state officials. That's what G. and Puyallup thinks. Very interesting.
On the DoorDash driver who was stabbed, stopping to help, what he thought was to help a family, Jesus and Kent says the entire family should be put away. This is absolutely insane that we have these type of people in our society. Everyone's going to second guess the next time they want to help somebody.
I think people will second guess it. I think you would have a tough time putting a 6-month-old away.
Well,
Jesus.
7 kids between 9 and 6 months old. I think the best thing that could have happened then was their parents get caught and they get taken out of their parents' custody.
Yeah.
Bernie and Squim says, I live down the road from where this incident occurred. I wondered what happened as I could hear the sirens. It's very close to Highway 101 interchange and it's a fairly busy intersection. There's 2 gas stations, a school, and a fire station all right there. I'm sure having EMTs within 100 yards definitely helped. Also, the helicopter can land at the school or the airport that is down the road. Bless those other Samaritans who were right there and stepped in to help. Yeah.
Molly in Auburn says, I had a guy flag me down on an on-ramp, rolled down my windows, and he tried to open both the front and the back doors. I drove off quickly while yelling no at him. Yeah, particularly women. Don't pick up people on the side of the road. Please don't. Very
Maureen in
dangerous.
the 253 says, I will never stop to help anyone. I will call 911 and have them handle it. Sad but true.
There you go.
On John Curley endorsing Katie Wilson, Dina in Everett says, or Dinah, excuse me, she apparently can't manage her own finances. So you want to give her a $9 million budget to mess with? John's being very disingenuous. Socialism is not going to work, and Seattle will fall. And I think that's exactly what John's saying.
There you go.
I think John's being spot on with how he really feels.
Rick in Olympia says, Reagan's trickle-down economics doesn't seem to be working. Why do we only have 2 options? Why not a fair and equitable tax system that benefits everybody? It's interesting, that Reagan comment, the trickle down. Do you know the last time in Washington State that we had like a broad-based state tax rate cut? Because that's what affects people here, like how much we're paying in taxes. Do you know when the last time was?
No.
When Reagan was in office.
Interesting.
In Washington State. So he should think about that, how we're doing here in Washington State, who's really taking your money. All right, that's all the time we
Kara,
have.
the cleaning lady, says, Laura, I think we should vote for your cat. I'll let everyone know the vote is tied right now.
Tied.
So,
all right, Laura's cat is going to
continue.
win. There you go.
No, Laura's cat gets the deciding vote. That's what I'm getting. Put the treats out.
Hope you guys have a great weekend. John Curley's coming up next. Harold's going to be on with him at 4 p.m. Don't miss that. And we will see you back here on Monday. Bye-bye.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
While you're getting ready every morning, make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your